few. What's the deal, okay? Watching footage going out of control. Buckle up, we got an hour to go, so let's go. That's straight heat. Ain't no chillin' around here. Back that back, Nat Chance, how we feelin' around here? Got my whole squad in the building around here. If my name ain't on it, then I really don't care. Come on. 3-point stance, we advance. Ball in my hands, I don't take no chance. Touchdown dance, that's my jam. No hot takes, this is nothing but rants. Nothing but rants. Nothing but rants. Nothing but rants. On the G, on the beat, hey. Yeah.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? Really like that. You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Filmguy Network, brought to you by our friends over at hardrock.bet for what is a absolutely slam-packed, loaded Wednesday night show for you guys. We got some quarterback news that dropped today, a coinciding film study coming out tomorrow, assuming he checks the new Big 12 NFL rule. I think he does. We'll talk about it tonight. We're also putting some week 0 folks on upset alert potentially tonight. That's not true. I got nixed off the show sheet. I don't know why I'm lying to you up here to start the show. We do have Big 10 quarterback rankings coming out tonight. Excited for that one. Excited to get some people nice and revved up, even though I think there's a clear-cut 3 at the top, and then the rest of you guys can argue, and I don't even think you'll show up in my mentions. But, hey, who knows? We were trending for a solid 21 hours today on social media from yesterday's SEC quarterback rankings. So we'll bring those back to you guys tonight. Of course, that'll be fun. Going to also make some natty odds play. Odds all presented by our friends over at Hard Rock Bet. That'll be fun tonight as well. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you are telling a friend. We need to get put in front of some brand new people today. And the best way to do that is to not only start firing off in the chat, but of course, by hitting that thumbs up button. Boys, let's start with the news. All right. Tommy Castellanos. You go by Thomas or Tommy?
Thomas, I believe.
think it's both.
I think it is both. I think it's a both thing. Thomas Castellanos is his legal name. We'll call him by his government. Announced that he is committing to Texas Tech. And nowadays, when you announce, you ultimately sign. So I guess he signed with Texas Tech. Again, this is assuming that he passes the Big 12's rules on eligibility regarding NFL football players. And I believe he does for this reason. Did declare for the draft. That's the only thing I'm hung up on. But was undrafted, unsigned, went to some mini camps, did not sign a contract, then found out about 5 for 5, then sued for a TRO, then got approved for his TRO, then Texas Tech added him to the roster. So I do believe he will be okay to play out there at Texas Tech. And here's the deal. I get why they're doing this. There's going to be a lot of people, myself included, when I first saw this, I was like, damn, will y'all just believe in Will Hammond? Like, y'all tell us y'all like this guy, but y'all seem to be willing to sell your souls to get Sorsby on the field. And now you're doing this with Thomas Castellanos. And come to find out, did you know that Texas Tech has not kept a starter healthy for a full season since 2016?
What?
Yes. They have not kept a starter healthy for all regular season games since 2016. They've gone a decade of getting quarterbacks hurt.
That's including Patrick Mahomes.
No, that goes back to him. He was the last.
I was about to say,
he was the last starting quarterback to play every
right.
single game for them throughout the year.
Jeez.
It's been insane. That bad. Now, I think this is a brand new administration, a brand new coaching staff over the last 4 or 5 years out there at Texas Tech. But it is worth noting, when we watched them today, and that's the spoiler alert, that's the film study coming out tomorrow, they have a real propensity to run quarterbacks that aren't running quarterbacks. Did you notice that, Jonathan? I mean, my God, hey, Will Hammond, decent athlete, but I'd bet, maybe a week's pay he wouldn't run a sub 4.75 in the 40. This ain't some twitched up athlete. And then we go watch the Arizona State tape, Jonathan and I today, and the dude's got 15 carries. I'm talking about traditional quarterback run game carries. And I'm like, that's interesting. Now, again, coaches have changed over this 10-year run of, not being able to keep quarterbacks healthy. You would imagine a lot of that has to do with luck. But based on play calling last year, a lot of that has to do with like decision-making at the coordinating position, just running guys that aren't runners. Nobody watching this today thinks of Baron Morton as some tremendous athlete, and yet they were running him to death too. So very curious. I think it's a good decision from a depth standpoint, and a good decision from if you want to run the quarterback, run the hell up by him. I mean, it's just throw Tommy out there and let him do some short yardage, essentially wildcat stuff with the threat of running. But we did watch Will Hammond today, as I've mentioned over and over again, and I'm not like, this guy's a superstar, super stud. And I think he's okay.
Yeah.
I think he's serviceable. I don't think you're winning a national title with Will Hammond.
Well, and I think Texas Tech told you that as well.
Yeah,
despite the fact that he's going to be the starter for them, despite the fact that he's going to play for them, and they'll tell you that they like him, them going after Brendan Sorsby, them being very adamant that they wanted Brendan Sorsby to play this season despite everything that was happening around him for quite some time. They were telling you, Will Hammond's okay, but we don't think that he's the best option that we have.
Yeah, I mean, the actions of Texas Tech were kind of obvious. Like, they were getting ready to get into a lawsuit battle with the Big 10.
Big 12.
Or, excuse me, Big 12 over a quarterback, one singular quarterback. I think it's fairly obvious that they did not have immense hope in Will Hammond. So, yeah, it makes sense as to why you would kind of want a insurance blanket here, which I think is what Thomas Castellanos is. He's obviously not going to be the starter for them, or at least they don't anticipate him doing that.
Good news for Texas Tech fans. Not only did you get Thomas Castellanos today, but the number one player per on three, Jalen Brewster, solidified his commitment today, despite the fact that he transferred to Buford. While we're here, let's talk about this. I think I have the perfect tinfoil hat theory as to why he transferred to Buford.
Okay,
why? I'm sure it's an NIL play, right?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Texas does not allow pre-enrollment NIL. The state of Georgia does. You can't use the school's likeness, so you can't have like Buford logos on the commercials, but Adidas can give you whatever the hell they want as long as you get out of the state of Texas and go to a pre-enrollment approved school. But back to this quarterback conversation. I don't think he's being brought in there to be the starter.
No.
I do think he's brought in there to add a little bit of spice to that offensive system. For all the money, guys, that they spend on that roster, why isn't their offensive line better? Did you notice that today watching that film?
Yeah, it wasn't great, especially that one freeze frame that we came across where three guys are standing still blocking one guy.
Yeah, and two of them are just running after Will Hammond, ready to kill him.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. And I know they spend a lot of money on the defensive line. I know they spend a lot of money tried to spend a lot of money at quarterback this offseason, have brought in some transfers at wide receiver and whatnot, but the offensive line is not championship caliber either right about now from what I have seen. So that's very interesting to me.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that might just be an anticipation of, or not an anticipation, but a result of, yeah, we can spend money, but we might not have the best talent evaluation or the best coaching here. I think it always comes back to that. If you can throw money at things, but it doesn't, the dollar signs don't equate to quality always. I know typically, if you're getting 5 stars, you're paying premium prices, but we've mentioned there are some 5 stars that are committed to them and are on that roster that we look at and are like, was he worth the money they're giving him?
I think that just to kind of talk about this from Castellanos' perspective, because I think some people probably look at this and are like, well, if he's not the starter, why would he go to Texas Tech? Why is that the school that we're going to? I think that with how this is able to play out for Castellanos, and that's what I'm ultimately going to get at his money. But, some people say, well, why take the most money if you're not going to play? Well, Thomas Castellanos thought his college career was over, tried the NFL thing, the professional football thing, and it was very obvious that nobody wanted a part of that football after college probably wasn't a thing for him. So why would you not take the most amount of money you can get and also probably be utilized in some way?
Oh, dude, we used to talk all the time in the football worlds about how the best job in the world is the backup quarterback in the NFL. Wrong. The best job in the world is the backup quarterback in college football right now. You get to live college life and make $900,000.
Or if you're Jared Curtis, way more than that.
Or, if you're Jared Curtis, make north of $3 million. What a life these guys have right about now in the world of college football. If I had to tell you, hey, whose quarterback room are you buying into for the next 4 years? Are you taking Texas Tech or are you taking BYU's?
BYU, because I
BYU.
kind of have a good understanding of the direction of BYU's QB room.
Mm-hmm. It's Bear Bachmeyer and it's Ryder Lyons. Now, I do like Kavion Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
He's the number 6 quarterback on On3's rankings in the 2027 class, but we're a good 24 months before that kid's probably ready to play college football. I would imagine Texas Tech is right back in the transfer portal in January, ready to give somebody $6 million and hope they got a clean background sheet.
Yeah,
I would imagine that's what they got going on this year. So it'll be interesting. I'm curious to see what the responses are from everybody when we release that film study tomorrow. Again, I think Will Hammond is a good college quarterback. And that's where they were short last year. They were short offensively. They did not have a championship caliber passing offense when they met up against Oregon in the playoffs, and they got absolutely drummed up on the offensive side of the football.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that was due to lack of protection. I mean, Mateo was parked in the backfield the entire football game, and Lupoy's son, 44, I think had 4 sacks in that football game. Like, they were all over this dude over and over and over again for 4 quarters. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not 100% sold, and we're going to talk about that tonight. I'm not 100% sold that they're going to just walk through the Big 12 like everybody else thinks they do. I know they have the easiest schedule in all of Power 4 football, but I just don't think – I don't know what they're going to be offensively this year apart from we're going to be able to run the football.
And also, something that I think gets so overlooked is just on defensively speaking, like they had some great playmakers, but Jacob Rodriguez had one of the more – I don't want to call it an anomaly, but I would call it that. Of the amount of turnovers that guy forced and amount of positions that he put his offense in because of how many turnovers he forced, I mean, that dude had one heck of a season, and certainly not expecting anybody to replicate what he did last year. So that plays a hand too.
Yeah, I think the stench of the Big 12 and the poor quality of that schedule for Texas Tech has kind of made people forget that there's a lot of deficiencies that have opened up because of what they lost last year. Like you said, Jacob Rodriguez, basically everyone on that interior defensive line, a couple offensive pieces, even though they're
edge rushers too.
Exactly. So they've lost a lot.
Added it back with some Miami of Ohio transfers and some San Diego State transfers, guys that had a lot of production that may have been overlooked throughout their high school recruiting processes. We'll ultimately see. But for all the money that they are known to spend, I don't think I think they're properly ranked right where they're at, which is right around that 11 and 12 range. So it'll be very interesting to see ultimately what they do. And even if they do meet up with somebody in the Big 12 championship, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second, I don't think they are the lock that everybody else seems to believe that they are, even with this addition of Thomas Castellanos, which it kind of, to me, my timeline today and my timeline since he's been rumored there has made me wonder, did anybody watch Florida State last year?
Probably not.
They just watched the Alabama game and was like, my God, this dude's electric.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically had 2 football games in his career. He beat Alabama and he beat Florida State that one time he was at Boston College.
Yeah.
Or gave him a run. He didn't even beat him. Gave him a run that year at Boston College. And it's like, oh, he's verified. That guy's a dude. He's all right.
Yeah, the Bama game and the Virginia game last year are probably the only 2 games that people watched of Florida State last year.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our next segment. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and rate, review. And these are teams we've completely forgotten about this offseason.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to brag on us. Pretty hard to do this segment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've done so much talking this offseason. I feel like we've talked about pretty much everybody.
Yeah. Honestly, I did struggle with this segment too, so I'm glad to know that you did as well.
Like,
yeah.
if you were to Google right now, like, sleepers in college football, like the number 1 team that's going to pop up is the USC Trojans. And you're like,
no.
they've been talked about plenty.
Yeah.
I think we gave them 5 minutes last night. So who are teams that have just been forgotten about that we haven't talked about enough, guys?
The first one that kind of pops into my mind, and obviously it's a lot of these teams aren't going to be heavy hitters nationally. I mean, they're forgotten about. The Wisconsin Badgers have kind of just completely flown under the radar to the point where I know we've mentioned them in passing. I know we've kind of said, man, how does Luke Fickell still have a job? But we have not really looked into Wisconsin, talked about Wisconsin. There hasn't been any headlines for Wisconsin at all. So I feel like that's definitely a team that's gone by the wayside. And given what they were just a decade ago, where it was, hey, they are a scrappy Big Ten team that will go 8-4 and will find a way to get into the Big Ten championship every often. It's kind of weird.
Now, I'm not just saying this because I'm wearing Old Dominion merch tonight, but I thought Colton Joseph was a system merchant last year.
Ooh.
I just went and cut that tape.
Not great.
No, not at all. And people are like, oh, he's a runner. He's a great runner because they saw him rush for over 100 yards against Indiana. And that's all system to me. Like, they are the originators of blind RPOs. They are the first school that was like inverting read option rules, and it made a bunch of massive lanes for their quarterback. And when you watch that, and I always, like, it's one thing to be a like, we're picking up 18 yards on a read option because nobody kept an eye on us. That's one sign of athleticism. He's a serviceable athlete, don't get me wrong. He couldn't run away from Sun Belt Conference edge rushers last year. When you really watch the tape. Like, I watched it against App State, and App State's got good football players, don't get me wrong. But App State edge rushers are like flushing this kid from the pocket and like almost catching him at like 265 pounds. And it's like, dude, you're not going to run away from Big Ten people. And again, like, it's a wide choice offense, and we know this. Wide choice offenses put up good stats with their quarterbacks, no matter who the quarterback is. They always put up good stats. And I think they're one of the best versions of the wide choice that we have. They shred people, but it's all the coach, man. It's all the system. The idea that this is going to be the problem solver at Wisconsin for me is a very weird take. I think they're going to have some buyer's remorse.
I think it's only fitting that in this segment, Wisconsin gets brought up and Old Dominion gets talked about more than they just did for their own part of this segment.
Yeah.
I think that plays into the point.
I think it kind of just, that's the state of Wisconsin football right now. It's just not a whole lot of good to talk about. And if we do, it's probably going to be bad stuff like what you mentioned of Luke Fickell. What's going on there? Is he still going to have a job? And similarly, like, the team that I thought of first was Wake Forest, but it's for a very similar reason. Just, there was maybe a 2 or 3 year run there a couple of years ago where Wake Forest was kind of like you said for Wisconsin, a scrappy team in the ACC, a fun team to watch. They had Sam Hartman for a little bit, and then it's just kind of really teetered off for them, and they're very much an afterthought in that conference now.
You know who's not talked about enough? Often forgotten.
Who's that?
Every team in the Big 12 not named Texas Tech or BYU.
Yeah.
I agree.
Every team in that conference not named Texas Tech and BYU. And I know this channel loves the Cougs. I know we are Houston Cougar believers. I know that we know ball, but I don't think anybody else does. I don't think anybody else is talking enough about the rest of the conference, specifically the Houston Cougars. Boys, I want to run some numbers by you. Did you know that Texas Tech is minus 105 to win the Big 12 right now on hardrock.bet?
Ooh, really?
Minus 105. You're laying negative juice to take Texas Tech to win the Big 12. How about this one? Plus 550 for BYU and plus 1,600 for the Houston Cougars. This is tremendous odds for my Houston Cougars.
Oh, that's great value.
Yeah.
Great value for my Houston Cougars. I think that's where we're at right now. I'm like, why does everyone just assume that Texas Tech? If you want to say that they're going to dog walk their regular season schedule, that's fine. I will remind you that they lost to Arizona State last year. Walked everybody else. But I don't believe that to be the case this year.
Well, and I think, too, like, a lot of people, and I'll say including us to an extent, like, people who talk about college football and watch college football, love college football, in today's era, often tie themselves way too much to how much does a team spend and doesn't necessarily look too much into actual coaching and actual players that, hey, maybe those guys got overlooked. Maybe they aren't being paid what some other players are in their conference, but they're still really good football players. I think that's kind of what you get in the Big 12 of people look at Texas Tech and like, well, they spend money more than anybody else, so they're going to win that conference.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think Kansas is being talked nearly enough in that out of that conference. So I agree with that.
Okay.
Oh, he slipped a spoon in there, didn't he?
He tried.
He got me. I didn't even hear what he said until you said, okay.
Not me.
Who else has not forgotten about too much?
I mean, for this segment, it feels like for like us personally, I feel like I'm just going to end up rattling off teams that like Rutgers doesn't get talked about a whole lot. Now, we've mentioned them before. We have talked about Rutgers in this conversation.
Can we specify Rutgers wide receiver doesn't get talked about enough about?
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know if Rutgers is going to give anybody a sweat this year.
Yeah, probably not.
But they're going to be able to throw the ball if Lonergan doesn't throw it to the other team.
What about a team? Okay, here's a good one. A team like Maryland, for example. I don't think. Oh, was that on your list?
Of course it was.
Sorry.
Top 3 in returning production from a 4-8 football team.
Well,
just because you return goods doesn't mean they're good. But yeah, Malik Washington. We're going to talk about him tonight.
Well, and speaking of spending money, they just got a 5-star from last year's recruiting class. Zion Ely. They return Malik Washington. They return a bunch of other players on that roster. Not saying that Maryland's going to take some seismic leap this year in the Big Ten, but probably not being talked enough about considering what they do bring back and the players that are on that roster.
Now, this team obviously filled some headlines this year in the offseason. They had a massive acquisition. But when you talk about conference standings or dark horses to even be competent within their conference, nobody is talking about the Virginia Tech Hokies. And I think that's kind of weird considering they got a head coach with the prestige of James Franklin, who went in there and immediately increased the booster contributions and immediately started winning on the recruiting trail. I don't know if Virginia Tech's going to be great this year. I think it's a little weird how kind of no one in the national media space is really even talking about. Like, that's not even really a storyline. It's all, oh, Miami's going to win the ACC and maybe Clemson can be a little bit better this year. That's the only two things you hear. And then a little bit of Florida State sucks on the side. No one talks about Virginia Tech.
And that kind of goes back to me saying why I thought it was a great PR move for them that nobody did talk about them. Nobody talked about James Franklin in his first year at Virginia Tech. It's just, all right, he's there. That's it. That's all we're going to talk about.
I still feel like Louisville doesn't get talked enough about in that conference.
That's fair.
Yeah, they stay disrespected, I would say.
Yeah, just completely underappreciated.
Definitely the middle child of the ACC.
Anybody else? Again, very hard segment for us to do. We talk a lot of college football during the offseason.
I have 2 more teams.
Come on.
So last year, this team was consistently in headlines. Their head coach was consistently on social media. We didn't really get a lot of that this year. And you know, last year there was, hey, dark horse to be a playoff team, top 15 team. Illinois has completely gone by the wayside. No one is talking about them. It's kind of a forgotten thing. Brett Bielema hasn't really even had a social media moment on Twitter where it's like, oh, you know, he calls out so-and-so. They have kind of gotten forgotten.
He did at Big Ten Media Days, but that's about it. They like to live in 2005.
Yeah.
He did make that one comment.
And that's about it, and that washed away pretty quickly. And then other than that, I have Arizona State. I feel like another team last year, it was like, hey, they won the Big 12 last year, or they're coming into a season, might be interesting. Obviously, that 2025 fell flat, but they have not been discussed at all.
Boys were released. Oh, before we do that, let's give a shout-out to our friends over at Hard Rock Bet. Ladies and gentlemen, today's show is brought to you by our friends over at Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Whether it's rivalries, trash talk, bragging rights, it's all a part of this game of college football that we all love so much. But there's one thing college football fans can all agree on. Hard Rock Bet is easy, safe, and trusted with thousands of 5-star reviews. You can back your favorite football team all season long, whether it be from the couch, hanging out at the tailgate, or even inside the stadium, especially for our friends down there in the state of Florida. Hard Rock Bet knows college football in Florida. They're Florida's only legal app to bet on college football, but you don't have to be in the state of Florida to join the party that Hard Rock Bet's got going on. They're also live in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, Colorado, and Michigan, with more states on the way. And right now, listen up, right now, all customers, new and existing, can place a $5 bet to get $100 in bonus bets. That's right, $5 gets you $100 in bonus bets. So if you don't have the Hard Rock Bet app today, what are you doing? Head over to hardrock.bet/filmguy. That's hardrock.bet/filmguy. Get the party started on Hard Rock Bet today. Must be 21 or older. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER today. Please gamble responsibly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. We did SEC quarterback rankings last night, top 11. Tonight, we come back with the 18-team conference with the Big Ten. Now, I will tell you this, and call me an SEC homer if you want, whatever. I do think the quarterback play this year in the SEC from a depth standpoint is going to be better, and that's that magical word Big Ten folks hate is depth. I think 1 through 11 was a lot easier to do with quality quarterback play, a little bit of projection with some your first-year starters, but much easier to do than 1 through 11 in the Big Ten this year. Yell at me if you want. But like there is with the actual conference, the top 3 names I'm going to talk about tonight can go bar for bar with anybody in the SEC. In fact, the Heisman winner might come out of the Big Ten this year. I wouldn't be shocked if you told me it will come out of the Big Ten this year, you're probably right. Unless that Arch Manning guy or CJ Carr have a great year. But here we go. Let's do it. 1 to 11, 11 to 1. Jonathan, what do you want?
1 to 11.
See, he's reverse psychology in me. He knows I want to go 11 to 1. I'll give it to you 11 to 1.
Honestly, I think this one should be 1 to 11 because we kind of know the best quarterbacks. It's really from 4 to 11 that it gets kind of touch
where
and
the
go.
anticipation is.
Right, yeah.
All right, I'll give it to you 1 to 11. Number 1, Dante Moore. I think he's a dude. There are some things that I don't like. There's some I can get away with this, so I'm going to do it type of stuff with his mechanics. Every 35th ball flies like a duck for some reason. I don't know what that is. But, you know, there is very few quarterbacks in college football last year that had as many NFL tight window anticipatory throws as this guy. The tape is immaculate, okay? And I do think he has a good stronghold right now going into the season on QB1, going into the draft process. He's elite. There is that. Number 2 for me is Julian Sayin. The accuracy is undoubtedly the best in college football. From a 30 yards and in standpoint, this dude can pin the tail on the donkey. This dude knows exactly where he wants to put it, and he's going to put it there. I think we watched 3 or 4 games and only showed the one game against Miami last year, every single throw. I don't think, apart from some of the deep balls, I don't think he missed a spot the entire time I watched him. It is rather impressive to watch. And if you talk to any coach, right, any football coach, and you say, hey, what are you looking for from quarterbacks, right? And they'll talk about leadership and all that good stuff. But you talk about actual, like, play, like in their play, what do you want to see? They'll all start with accuracy. They will all start with the number one trait, which is accuracy, because every coordinator you talk to knows that I'm the guy. I am a great offensive coordinator. I am always going to get somebody open. The quarterback's job is to put it to the guy that I call the play for. This guy does exactly that. Number 3, Josh Hoover. He's just not what the other 2 are, but he's a great quarterback. And I think Indiana is going to do great things for him. RPO him, back shoulder him. Every clip I see coming out of Indiana practice is either a back shoulder or a deep ball to Charlie Becker. Nothing's changing for them offensively. He will execute at a really, really high rate. You'll see the turnovers drop dramatically because they won't be asking him to try to be a superhero out there in that Indiana system. And then there's a hard line for me, just like there is in the conference. I think there's a hard line after Oregon, Indiana, and Ohio State in this conference, and it's no different with their quarterback play up there for me. I think this is where I'm going to throw people for a loop, Jonathan.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and you watched it here with me, and I'm going to have you roccoed. It's number 4, Rocco Beck for me. For a lot of people and a lot of lists, you're going to see Jaden Maeva right here. You're going to see Demon Williams right here in this list. No, for me, it is Rocco Beck. So much so that when I watched him, I'm like, why don't they build their offense around this guy? And I think the reason was because they were at Iowa State. They weren't at a program where skill position players are at a premium. That being said, they've had some draft picks come out of there at the wide receiver position, which is relatively surprising, considering you think Iowa State, you think 13 personnel, you think run the ball, you think let's shrink the game, play defense. No, this guy can spin the pill. I think that was the thing I was most impressed by when I turned the tape on. I was like, my God, this guy's got far more arm talent than I ever realized. Like, little Stetson Bennett in his game.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like way more arm talent, way more life of the football than you could ever imagine unless you watch. If you just watch this kid on TV, you'd be like, oh, he's pretty good. And you watch the tape and you're like, wait a minute. That ball's on the left hash. He just threw a comeback, 15 back to 12, and it zipped out of his hand. We talked about he's got more arm strength than Josh Hoover does. Some of the Josh Hoover balls flutter on him. But this kid can absolutely rip it. So I was really impressed by that. Underrated thrower for sure. Number 5 for me is Jaden Maeva, and here's the one note I got for you. 75% of Caleb Williams, but he thinks he's Caleb Williams.
Yeah, that's an issue.
And you watched it.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff he does with his lower body, he's like, I can get away with this. And then the ball just kind of does that to him. But he's really good. He throws great footballs. Just some of the stuff I'm like, dude, can we use our lower half? Have you ever heard of it? Like, it's pretty meaningful in your mechanics. Like, he throws balls straight-legged. You see that in that tape? I know a lot of people didn't watch it because it's USC film and they're not all that ball curious out there in LA, and we're not all that big in the LA spaces yet. We will be one day. But yeah, man, just like I'm talking about, like on pogo sticks, Kirby, like no bend in his knees at all on some of those throws. And again, that's why I said 75% of Caleb Williams, but thinks he is Caleb. Like Caleb can get away with this stuff because nobody's ever thrown a football like Caleb Williams. I will hold that. Maybe Matthew Stafford nowadays can do some of the stuff that Caleb has been doing since he was 14. But this kid is really good, just not on that precipice of great. Number 6 for me is a guy that had no help last year. In fact, I think he had the worst rushing offense in Power 4 football, and it's Drake Lindsey out there at Minnesota. Very old school in it. Like, if it were 2005, this dude would be 1-1. He's 6'5", he's 240 pounds, he's a statue, but my God, can he rip the ball. And it has NFL throws all over the tape, and they play in an NFL, like, real pro-style offense. Like, it is hard to – they're not RPOing their way down the field. It's a lot of, like, let's really read the field. Let's progress through the reads. Hard to do that if we have no run game. And they had absolutely no run game last year. So there's that. But I think that one on that list, people are going to be like, the Minnesota guy? You had a Golfa quarterback, all right? Watch out. Drake Lindsey, he probably going to be on an NFL roster for a while. Reminds me a lot of Kyle Trask without the, like, over-the-top ripping down on the football. But that big, physical prototype, always going to be an arm in camp kind of guy. Drake Lindsey's going to have an NFL career for a long time. Number 7 for me is Malik Washington. Malik Washington's a dude. He's just got nothing around him, really. Nothing around him, really. And that's unfortunate. But this guy's a really, really good young quarterback. And I bet people are wondering, like, where's Demond Williams? Where's he at? He's number 8 for me. 8, 9, 10, 11 all have the same note written down by him.
Oh, yeah?
What is
A
it?
great athlete struggles at times as a thrower.
Makes sense.
A great athlete struggles at times as a thrower, and they all have different struggles. Like, Demond's playing in a great system. Jed Fish is a really good offensive mind. We watched, what was it, the Bucked Up Alamo Bowl? Was that what we were watching? Because the Big Ten doesn't allow us to watch their regular season tapes, so we had to watch their bowl games. And I don't know about you, Jonathan, but every throw on that tape, every big explosive, every throw 25 yards down the field, I think everybody watching this today probably could have made. Those dudes were butt naked.
Oh, yeah.
Those dudes were butt naked.
That film included the worst bust I've ever seen from a defense in my entire life.
A 75-yard touchdown to my man that went to the Browns.
There was nobody within 30 yards near him, Christian.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of this guy's a great athlete, watch him make plays with his legs, and then very much so a relatively limited thrower of the football. But here's what I will say about him. I think, watching him at the Elite 11 as a camp counselor, there wasn't anybody that fixed it faster than him. Yeah. It's a lot what we talked about with Faison Brandon. Like, he's out there working with Jordan Palmer, and Byron Brown's out there. JKS is out there. JKS is out there.
JKS.
Who else was out there? Demon, and then I think that was it. I don't think there was a fourth one out there. Jaden Wade was out there as well. Looked like a college player already. But all those kids now, Sagatule doesn't have a lot to fix. He's about as perfect as it gets right about now. You can laugh because I butchered it anyways. JKS doesn't have a lot to fix, so there wasn't much coaching going on there for him. Byram's obviously got a ton to fix from a mechanical standpoint, as does Demon. I think Demon locks the front leg out way too much, has to get a little bit more efficient in the ground force categories because we're just not the biggest human in the world. But there is definitely a playmaker there. I mean, he can make plays for sure. And the system is great, all that good stuff. Number 9 for me is Nico Iamaleava. Again, a great talent, a great athlete, takes off and runs really, really well. I would bet if you pulled up his game logs right now, there wasn't a single game last year where he didn't have at least 10 rushes.
Oh, I believe
can guarantee you right now. Probably the best runner most electric runner of the football from a top-end speed standpoint at the quarterback position that we have in the Big Ten, and is an elite arm talent. The problem, and that's why he was a 5-star coming out of high school, really good athlete, can make every throw in shorts and a T-shirt. I don't think I've ever seen him get into a second read. Damn sure I haven't seen him get into a third read. What do you got?
In 6 games, he had 10 or more rushes in 6 games.
Okay.
The others, it's like 6 or 8.
Huh. Did they win those games by a lot? Were they playing tomato cans?
No, it's UCLA.
Oh, yeah,
They
you're
weren't
right. It was
doing a whole lot
UCLA
of
last year.
Yeah, they won 3 straight in the middle of the season and lost every other game.
Yeah, you're right. Anyways, the ability to actually click through reads is very minimal for this football player. That being said, this is a guy that could be a riser on this list because I don't think Chesney's offense makes you do that. I think Bob Chesney, watching them at JMU last year, I think their quarterback had like over 700 yards rushing, was their second leading rusher from both attempts and yards standpoint, had a lot of red zone rushing touchdowns. Like, this is very much so an RPO, get the quarterback's legs involved type of offense. So maybe he doesn't have to do these types of things to put up good numbers. So we'll see about that. Number 10 for me is Bryce Underwood. I'm still holding hope.
Oh, wow.
Still very much so holding hope on this. It was just mechanically so bad from a lower body standpoint last year. And the problem was, and we talked about this with Andy and Ari yesterday, he got away with some of it.
Certainly.
And I think when you get away with some of this stuff, you're just like, oh, it's not me. It must be everybody else around me. I'm still great, you know? But it sounds like he's saying all the right things from a I'm working hard standpoint. So maybe he is. And it's also good to know that, hey, we actually have a coaching staff this year.
Well, that's what I was about to say and when you're doing stuff wrong and there's nobody there to tell you that you're doing it wrong, probably not going to have much correction in that.
Absolutely. Number 11 for me is a absolute playmaker. Is the only word I have for him, and it's Anthony Calandra, the new Nebraska quarterback. Don't know if they have – I couldn't name a single wide receiver other than Nayland Scott at Nebraska right now.
Yeah, no, it's
That's the only thing.
Pretty bare bones.
But I couldn't name a single wide receiver at UNLV last year.
It's true.
It's also true.
He'd be all right.
Definitely a playmaker. Definitely fits what Nebraska needs.
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't need another statuesque quarterback.
No.
And that's exactly what Dylan Raiola was.
Yeah, not
so,
with that O-line.
Yeah, we ought to be good there.
I like it. Out of all of those, which quarterbacks do you think have the most potential to rise? Like, I think it's Bryce Underwood, obviously, but outside of that.
Yeah, Nico, I think would be the only one. I think nationally people will look at Rocco and be like, whoa, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
That's different than I thought he was going to be, this little, 6-foot Iowa State quarterback that constantly he gets Brock Purdy labels. He's got more arm talent than Brock Purdy. I don't know if he can play the position as high of a level as Brock does, because Brock's brain is elite. He processes information at a great rate. But
I was about to say that with you reading off those rankings, it feels like, because especially after you made your comment of you think that the quarterback play has more depth in the SEC than the Big Ten. I wanted to call this a transition year at quarterback for the Big Ten. But thinking about what next year's going to be, it's going to be a lot of new faces next year too. Like Oregon and Ohio State are both going to have new quarterbacks more than likely. Indiana's going to have a new quarterback. Rocco Beck's not going to be there anymore. Like, the only 2 names that you could really confidently say are still probably going to be there is Malik Washington if he stays at Maryland, and then Bryce Underwood at Michigan.
Did you name the Cal kid? He plays in the ACC, and him and Mensa will be the only quarterbacks we rank in the ACC.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kevin Jennings.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3-quarterback league. I think that's fair.
No Lincoln Kineholds?
No Vizina.
No.
It's fair.
No.
It's fair. There's not a lot of great quarterback play.
It's going to be Bear Bachmeyer, like nobody, and Drew Mestemaker.
Ashton Daniels.
And Ashton Daniels in the ACC. You're right.
You called him one of the most underrated players.
He is. He'll come right in at number 4, and then we'll hard stop the list after. And the Big 12 will be Drew Mestemaker, Bear Bachmeyer, hard stop.
Okay.
Am I throwing shade at anybody's direction in that league?
We have talked highly about Houston. Connor Weigman is certainly no slouch.
Alberto Mendoza can maybe find his way onto this list
at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, but there's nothing to go off of right now.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, these 2 leagues in the SEC and the Big Ten have kind of maintains supremacy for a lot of reasons, but a lot of it is also quarterback play.
Yeah.
Like
This is true.
of the top 25 quarterbacks in college football, they probably have 20 of them
Yeah.
amongst the two conferences.
Certainly.
So it is what it is. But no, I do think that like 7 through 11 range, like if I told you John Mateer or Malik Washington, who you taking?
Ooh, probably Mateer.
Yeah, probably John Mateer.
I'm buying
All right.
Mateer's ceiling more.
If I told you Kamario Taylor or Demond Williams, who you taking?
Mario
Kamara
Taylor.
Taylor.
All right, if I told you Marcel Reed or Nico Imaliava, who you taking?
That's a tough one.
Oh my God, A&M fans are gonna murder us.
It's
I'm
Marcel
gonna
Reed.
go
Okay,
Marcel.
I forgot C.J. Bailey. He'll be inside that top 5.
Mm-hmm.
We'll bump Ashton Daniels down to 5.
Okay.
Bryce Underwood or Byron Brown. This is actually kind of a fun experiment.
Oh, man.
I'm going to go
Byron
Underwood.
Brown because he fits in what Auburn needs, like the offense and everything. He fits. I know it's going to work there.
Faison Brandon or Anthony Calandria?
You got to go
gotta go
Calandria because
Calandria,
I don't
I
know
mean.
anything about Faison yet.
Okay.
The height, the potential of Faison's higher, but we don't know. Like it could be a dumpster fire.
You going Lenore Sellers or Rocco Beck?
Rocco backed.
Rocco Beck's certainly more consistent, but Lenoris is always about what's surrounding him, what's going to happen there.
You going Sam Levitt or Jaden Maeva?
Probably Levitt.
Yeah, I'll go Levitt.
Going Trinidad Chambliss or Dante Moore?
Trinidad.
Trinidad.
Okay. Arch Manning or Julian Sand?
Julian Sain's way more consistent.
I would too. I would say that too.
I'll go Julian.
Josh Hoover or Gunnar Stockton?
I gotta go Gunner.
Gunner.
You bunch of homers.
I mean, come on, dude. Hey, Josh Hoover had a turnover problem at TCU. If he corrects that, then certainly you can make the
He
argument.
had 400 turnovers while he was at TCU.
Y'all want to lay some wood?
Let's do it.
Excuse me?
Put your money where your mouth is, Jonathan.
All right.
It's an old football tournament.
I understand.
Guy didn't play ball. You know
I
what
didn't
mean?
play this ball, no.
You want to lay some hardwood?
No, that's worse. No, no.
Would we like to?
Play the swipe. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got national championship odds, all courtesy of our friends over there at Hard Rock Bet. All right, here's how we're going to do it. We're going to tell you some things that we like, and then we're ultimately going to settle on one Heisman or national championship odd that we really, really love. I'm settling in on a plus 3,000 juice. How about that? What's your odds? Don't give the team yet. What's your odds? You got some good juice on yours?
I believe it's plus 1,100.
Not good enough. What do you got?
Mine are plus 700. So
Yeah, this guy kind of took the low-hanging fruit.
This guy picking favorites.
700 plus 700 is still very much.
I mean, the favorite at Hard Rock Bet is tied for plus 600.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. This is one of those predictions where it's very hard to make.
This is one of those predictions where I'm trying to make you rich if this hits. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get some people up out the mud, Kirby.
I would say that there are other ways to get up out the mud. However, we love our friends at Hard Rock Bet.
We do love our friends at Hard Rock Bet. All right, my college football playoff champion, the Oregon Ducks, are at plus 700. So I think I do have to lay a little lettuce on that because I did take the Oregon Ducks to win the college football playoff this year. Even though I did text some people inside the building today for some SID information, and they gave me the SID information so I can get credentialed for that Michigan at Oregon football game in week 10, maybe week 11.
Ooh,
but anyway,
cold, buddy.
oh, I don't care. I'll bundle up, Bubba. I ain't worried about it. I'm trying to see what it's about out there.
cold does
I'm
not
trying
bother
to see that motorcycle go run up on that field with that duck on top. I'm trying to see what that place is about. And I told them, hey, don't call me some SEC hack. I picked you guys to win the national champion. And you know what the response was?
What?
Quack.
Ooh, I wish you didn't tell me that.
Ooh.
I wish you didn't tell me that. I wish you would have picked Ohio State or somebody else. That person must watch the show.
They know about the Brooks
They
curve.
know about the Brooks Austin
By the
curve.
way, don't shortchange yourself. It's plus 750 juice there. Plus
Good
50
stuff
on
right
that
there.
one.
Ooh. All right. I think Alabama at plus 2,500 is really good odds.
Definitely enticing. Yeah.
It's very enticing because of what we saw yesterday, the other day with the Keelan Russell breakdown. I think this kid could be electric. We'll just see. And we know the defense is going to be really good this year. One of the best edge rushers in the country, and Yanze Pierre, arguably one of the best defensive back cores in the country as well. I do think we get an uptick from Ryan Coleman-Williams. I do think Latsier Brooks year 2 is going to be really fun to watch. Can they run the ball? Can they protect the quarterback? Those are questions that I have.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of coinciding with how Alabama chose their starting quarterback in Keelan Russell. I mean, the playmaking, that's really going to change things for them, in my opinion. Not that Austin Mack isn't capable of making some big plays by himself, but Keelan Russell certainly adds a whole nother wrinkle to that. We saw what Alabama and Kalen DeBoer were able to accomplish with a quarterback that provides some playmaking ability in the backfield, and that was when they were at their best with Jalen Milroe. So we'll see what Keelan Russell can do.
Yeah, I think it's going to depend a lot on, can you get more consistency out of the offense? I don't think that Keelan Russell has to play nearly as well as Ty Simpson did, especially in those first 6 weeks of the season. But if Keelan Russell doesn't do that, does your running game play better? Is your protection better? I think defense is going to handle itself. It's been really consistent for the last few years there. So I'm anticipating it being that this year for Alabama. The team I went with is the Texas Longhorns, and for the reason of it's plus 700 right now, and it's the team that is most likely going to be at the very least in the college football playoff. They're one of the most talented rosters in college football. We've all agreed on that. Plus 700, that I understand that these types of, projections and bets are really tough to make. It's why the odds are so high. So much can happen in these next 13 to 14 weeks. But right now, for as talented as Texas is and for as much of a boost or plus money there is on them, I went with Texas here. But also, if you're looking at like a Georgia or even an LSU has also acquired a bunch of talent there. We saw what Lane Kiffin was able to do with an Ole Miss roster, the run that they could have made had he potentially stayed. So LSU is also something that's very interesting at plus 2,000.
I had two do not touches for me. One of them was Texas. The other was Ohio State. And here's why. Are we 100% sure they're going to survive their regular season schedule?
Yeah, it's fair.
That's a great,
if to make a national championship odds bet right now, I'm looking for best value and actual possibilities. And look, I know Texas and Ohio State certainly have enough talent to make it to a national title and win a national title. I have far more questions about Steve Sarkisian, obviously, on top of all of this.
Yes.
I trust Ryan Day. I think Ryan Day is a top 3 coach in college football. Like, there's no doubt about that. But that schedule could easily bang you up, man. That schedule could easily knock out a couple of starters, and then come January, we're not what we thought we were going to be from a health and safety standpoint. So those were two do not touches for me. I don't like those odds.
I think if I were to take one of the higher end odds, I think I would probably take Notre Dame, considering what you just talked about, where we got to go through Miami. That's our biggest game of the year. We can certainly survive that schedule. We can certainly make the playoff. They just have to be ranked inside the top 12 at the end of the year. They're going to be good. Like, that's a team that you can really bank on being in the playoff. You can really probably bank on them being healthy at that point in time as well. We've seen Marcus Freeman already have success in the playoff format and make it to a national title. Got a better roster this year than he did that year, in my opinion. If I had to pick one of the higher end odds, that's probably the one I would take.
Yeah, with these higher end odds and a lot of this, it mostly revolves around which team is going to play its best football in January. Regular season be damned. Obviously, you can't go 8-4. We do think that Texas and Ohio State could probably squeak in with a 9-3 because the schedules are that demanding. So when you have all that talent on your roster at that point in the season, if you all put it together, like we saw Ohio State do this in 2024. Like, that was one of the most talented rosters in college football. Didn't really do much through 2024. Walked through the regular season, put it all together, and come the playoff and looked like a juggernaut. So it could happen with Texas, and I also could see them falling victim to a schedule, but I'm just buying the sheer talent right now. Sheer talent and putting it together in January.
All right, I'm going to let Brooks save his for last. The best value, in my opinion, here for national title odds over on Hard Rock, in my opinion, is Miami. I picked this team in my playoff bracket to ultimately win the national title. This plays into the conversation that we just had of Miami has a very survivable regular season schedule, just like Notre Dame. The game for them is against Notre Dame. If they can win that one, they'll be in great shape. I think they have a more talented offense than they did last year. Those weapons, the quarterback, running back, they're set there. Offensive line, a little bit of a question, but not really, because Coach Mirabal got them boys all right every single time. Defensively, they're sound. I think this is tremendous value if you want to find value with national title odds at Miami plus 1,100.
All right. I think I got the juice.
What is it?
What is it?
It's Oklahoma plus 3,000.
Whoa.
That's really good.
It's Oklahoma plus 3,000. I think they are defensively a national championship caliber football team. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And I was on the Oklahoma Breakdown today with my friends Gabe and Teddy, and they made me feel a little bit better about this. I'll just leave it at that. I don't think I'm allowed to talk about what they told me after the recording of that video. Some things that they have seen in camp that make me think, hey, some things are changing around there offensively. I don't think they're going to be as much fun and gun air raid as they were a couple years ago, or at least last year. Here, I'll put it this way. Jason Witten's addition to that coaching staff might have changed some of the things that they're doing offensively.
Good.
Okay.
And it makes me believe that they're going to be a lot more efficient. They might protect the football a little bit more, which was the major concern last year. They put their defenses in bad spots, particularly in the playoff game. I think if they don't throw that pick six, they might win the damn thing against Alabama with a quarterback without a thumb. So if they can keep Mateer healthy, plus 3,000 odds over there with our friends at hardrock.bet looks really, really good. All right, let's go make these plays. So you had the Texas Longhorns at plus 700.
Yes.
All right, you had the Miami Hurricanes at plus 1,100, and I had the Oklahoma Sooners at plus 3,000. Now, this is a really good app for a lot of reasons, but I do love these categories that they have at the top where it makes it nice and simple to search for exactly what you're looking for. Just scroll over to National Champion, and you can play some action over there with our friends at Hard Rock Bet. Again, that's hardrock.bet/Filmguy to get in on the action today. All righty. It is Wednesday, boys. It is Wednesday during the college football calendar. We don't even take an off season around here. We've been doing What If Wednesdays since early July. It is Wednesday. What are some what ifs you got for me this year? Now, I can start with this because I was told you're an idiot, not happening from people in the Texas beat. And I think outsiders think there's a lot of pressure on Sark to win this year. Apparently not. Apparently not. Apart from he goes 6-6 and falls off the wagon, not literally, but with the season falls off the wagon, that's the only reason they would ever fire this guy. And here's what I was told. 6-6, and the other response was, do you not remember what it's been the decade before he got here?
It's fair, but
This isn't our takes on if you can't win this year, when are you going to? Not applying to Texas beat reporters, not applying to people there, not applying to their fan base. And I think that the reason why is because those people sat through those 10 years. They know what it looks like with bad football coaches.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. And now I can agree to the fact of just because he misses a playoff this year doesn't necessarily mean that he should be fired.
Yeah, no.
I think it more so lays on the grounds of if you don't win a national title this year, there's going to be, I'm not going to say a large part of you, but a pretty big portion of you that's going to feel like you missed out on a prime opportunity to go and win a national title. Considering what the roster that you have, considering what you spent in the transfer portal this year to upgrade that roster, I think it's going to feel like a massive missed opportunity if you don't.
Yeah, we're getting into territories where Ryan Day and Kirby Smart once were, where they had gone so long without actually winning a national title. I think going back to that 21 season for Georgia, because it's relatable and I think it's pertinent to what's going on right now, there was an overarching view of like, well, you can't fire Kirby Smart even if he doesn't win a national title this year because, you know, he's had them as a top 5 team consistently. He's taken them to heights that they would have never imagined. But the problem is when you set a standard that you will be competing for national championships and you consistently fail to do so, I think at some point your seat starts to warm up very, very steadily. So I don't think 8-4 gets Sark fired this year. I don't think missing the playoff gets Sark fired this year, but I think missing the playoff this year puts you on the hot seat for next year.
Yeah.
I mean,
and by the way, next year,
yeah.
I mean, if Arch does come back, that's a brand new football team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They lose basically everybody.
You're going to have to spend a lot next year.
They're going to lose all 22 of their preseason All-Americans.
And let's also phrase it this way: like, God forbid they do miss a playoff again this year. Like, I think that at that point the conversation has to be like, we might know what Sarkisian is, and it probably isn't one of the best coaches in college football. I think we kind of understand like the most talented roster he had didn't win a national title, didn't make the playoff, missed it 2 years in a row. Like, I think that becomes a very stern conversation. You have to stare straight in the eyes.
I agree wholeheartedly. I've got one. What if every game on Saturday from noon to 10 p.m. is just a blowout?
Plausible, because TCU is going to thump that butt.
Yeah. I mean, basically all that would have to happen is Memphis UNLV is a blowout, NC State Virginia is a blowout, and Stanford Hawaii is a blowout.
Yeah, and I don't even think this matters. Don't talk about the slate. It would be disappointing for the first week that we get college football games to not have at least one of them where you're sitting in the fourth quarter going, man, I wonder who's going to win this game. I wonder how this one's going to end. If we get to all of them and you're just like, yeah, I'm checked out by the middle of the third, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to feel a little bit cheated. So that was my I hope that doesn't happen.
What if the Final Four for the Heisman is 2 QB wide receiver combos?
Could happen.
What if it's Darian Mensah and Malachi Toney and Julian Sain and Jeremiah Smith?
It could be Arch and Cam Coleman, too. Like
Arch and Cam Coleman?
There's a handful.
Gunnar Stockton and Isaiah Canyon?
Probably not.
All right.
Okay. Those guys don't
What are those guys?
That conversation, but
What are those guys somewhat believable? Isaiah Canyon, a good football
I'm sorry.
player.
We're getting jokes off tonight. I'm sorry.
But
God forbid I make somebody chuckle tonight.
And that would be – now, it would be crazy to have 4 of the representatives only from 2 teams, but I think there's an avenue where it could end up happening.
Yeah, I mean, this was like you kind of saw us in 2020 with Mac Jones and Devontae Smith, and I'm trying to remember who else was representing that year, but it was yeah, you're right. It's not out of the realm of possibility. With how highly those 2 groups of players are expected to play this year, I could see it happening.
I do want to get into this conversation.
This is great. I want to hear this.
Okay. Now, I may need to change the way I ask this question, but the way I phrase it is, what if Kurt Cignetti has skewed the way programs conduct head coaching searches? And what I mean by that is, and this was happening before Kurt Cignetti got big in Indiana, but I think now moving forward, it really might skew how programs are trying to fill the void of finding a new head coach from their program. And kind of the new trend, it seems like, is programs are trying to find the next guy from the G6 realm. They're trying to find the John Sumrall. They're trying to find Silverfield, or they're trying to find Bob Chesney, one of those guys, Alex Golish. That seems to be the route that programs are taking. But I think that we've kind of looked past I think some of the best coaches in college football were guys that were a great coordinator and then got a job at one of the best programs in college football. For example, Kirby Smart, defensive coordinator to head coach, had no head coaching experience prior to that. Steve Sarkisian was the offensive coordinator at USC, got the Washington head coaching job. Lane Kiffin, USC OC, to the Raiders head coaching job. I know that those 2 guys had some dips and lows and then resurrected themselves back up to the top. But for the sake of this argument, they do apply.
Also, for the sake of that argument, Lane Kiffin was an OC again before he became a head coach, and Steve Sarkisian was an OC again before he became a head coach.
Yeah, so still applies. Ryan Day was the offensive coordinator at Ohio State and then became the head coach there. Dabo Swinney was a position coach / interim OC to then head coach at Clemson. Dan Lanning, Georgia's defensive coordinator to head coach at Oregon. Clark Lee, defensive coordinator at Notre Dame to then head coach at Vanderbilt. Marcus Freeman was the Cincinnati defensive coordinator to then head coach of Notre Dame. I mean, those are all some of the best head coaches in college football, and none of them had head coaching experience prior to them getting a head coaching job. And not only did they get a head coaching job, they got them at premier programs, like bona fide programs, Power 4 programs. They didn't have to go to the G6 ranks to prove themselves and then hope that they would get a job somewhere down the road. I think maybe teams are kind of overlooking that aspect, and like, if a guy's a really great coordinator, maybe you should just go ahead and give him a shot.
Yeah, and to kind of agree with you on a different sense, I think one of the dumbest mistakes programs and teams and just people in general make in certain instances is seeing one group have immense success with one thing and go, oh, well, that's the blueprint for how we have to do this. Oh, we just have to go out and find Nick Saban. Oh, we just have to go find our Joe Burrow. Oh, we just have to find a Cam Newton. I think it undermines how unique those specific guys are. Kurt Cignetti is a one of one. Nick Saban is a one of one. Cam Newton is a one of one, etc. You're not just going to go out and find them by following similar processes. Like, how many head coaches were hired because of, Saban tree, he's just like Saban, we got us one, and they flamed out. Now, there's been plenty of coaches that have success that come from the Saban tree. But my point is, following solely the process because of the product is not the way to go. And I think trying to find the next Kurt Cignetti is going to create a lot of failures.
Like, let's put it this way, too. Like, now North Carolina, they hired Bill Belichick, one of the greatest football coaches of all time. What if they had just hired Glenn Schumann? Like, what if they had – I think they probably are better off than they are now.
Yeah.
Just kind of throwing that into the argument as well. Obviously, that's completely hypothetical and a lot of projecting, but I think Glenn Schumann does a lot more – good for that program and cares a lot more about that program than someone that's on the very tail end of their head coaching career.
It's funny you mention that because my next what if is, what if UNC wins on Saturday? everyone's everyone's doing that. Oh, it's not going to happen. They're going to get killed. They could win that game. Like, they're not a good football team, but we've seen crazier things happen, especially in Ireland. What if TCU loses that game and UNC comes out on top? Well, do we completely change how we view that team? Does the national media start talking about, if things turn around in UNC?
I think it really depends on what does that game look like.
It's going to be gross. I can guarantee that.
If it's just a gross win, both teams played sloppy football for 4 quarters, and North Carolina kicked a field goal to win it 13-10, I don't think it's going to change the opinions of many.
Do y'all remember going into the Ireland game last year, how people were talking about how this game has playoff implications?
Yeah, I was one of those people.
And that game ended with a 7-5 Iowa State football team in a fight between father and son in the parking lot. Shout out to Billy Billy. He gives us a super chub that says, shout out to my 12-year-old son, Gio. He's currently locked into a college football magazine as you name quarterbacks before bedtime on a school night.
Shout out.
God is good.
That is way more important than any homework you will ever do in your life. Keep doing the
grind that tape, Gio. Keep working, son. Maybe one day you'll have a microphone for a living. I could imagine, until I was a grown adult doing this job, telling my dad, I think this is what I want to do. Okay. You want to be a YouTuber? All right, dude. Evan Grimes says, also Kirby's a certified ball knower with that Powerline shirt.
Thank you, Evan.
A pro Christian Kirby super chub.
What are we allowed?
I think it's a pro.
We've lost the plot.
I think it's a pro power line.
Oh, okay. Bandit says, y'all don't realize what I went through watching Texas from 2012 to 2022. No, you can't fire that guy if he doesn't win a championship, but I do agree if he doesn't win it this year, when does it happen? I'm just saying. And look, friends of the show, Bobby Burton, completely disagree with me. Friend of the show, Matt Galatza, completely disagree with me before the show. But there's going to be some booster, probably worth billions, if they go 9-3 or 8-4, going, it obviously ain't the players. It obviously, I'll give the next guy just as good of a roster. He can do better than this. I can guarantee you there will be somebody in that booster base, if it doesn't happen this year, says exactly those things. All right, and that's something to be worried about. If it's not, I think the seat's warm this year. It'll be hot next year if we don't win at a high rate this year, and I think that's fair to talk about. Chaos, you ready?
Mm-hmm. Bring it on.
What if Ole Miss not only beats LSU, but also has a better record than them this year?
Yikes. You know what? This is what I'm ultimately hoping for, because I saw this come across my Twitter feed of the potential of an Ole Miss LSU rematch in the first round of the playoffs.
That would be fun.
Now, could you imagine this? They have a better record at the end of the year. They beat you in the regular season, and they beat you again in the college football playoff. That's really adding fuel to the fire that you're talking about. But, look, I think that LSU fans are very passionate about their football program. They were kind of doing the Notre Dame thing today on social media, from what I saw, of college football is not college football without the LSU Tigers. Like, we are the biggest brand in the sport. Whatever. They think very highly of themselves. I think that they would obviously have some harsh feelings against losing to Ole Miss and also having a worse record than them this year. But ultimately, I think they would just say, oh, don't worry, next year we got Lane Kiffin. We still have the better coach.
Let's head on to the local hour. I got a bone to pick with you.
Me?
Or at least a question to ask.
Okay.
Let's head over to the local hour. We'll see you on the other side.
Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? You like that? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another hour here on the Filmguy Network, brought to you by our friends over at hardrock.bet, and it is our local hour. Some say it's our best hour. Mm-hmm. We got a loaded one for you. We're going to do What If Wednesday. We got some Keymon spell news to talk about tonight. We'll also be talking about what you should be watching week 0, which is all of it because you're a sicko. And we also have our annual seasonal stats prediction. All right, y'all know how this works. We write down our predictions for what we think is ultimately going to play out this year from an individual statistic basis. We write it on a fine piece of paper and we slap that sucker on the wall, and then we pull it off in February after a glorious national title. How about that?
I like the way that sounds.
All right, I got to know, why are you such a ESPN bottom ticker fan? And by the way, cookie cake is gas. You never went to the mall. You never ate American Cookie Company. You just don't know ball. You're not fat enough to give an opinion like that on your board. So I'm just going to let you know
I
that.
didn't know that my weight had anything to do with my opinion on this.
Weight has everything to do with it, Jonathan.
Now, first off, I have been to Great American Cookie many of times because my wife is a chocolate chip cookie connoisseur. So anytime we go to the mall, we have to go buy Great American Cookie and get a cookie. So I've had plenty of them. Cookie cake is way too overplayed. I'm tired of it. It's good. But if I'm going to eat cake, just give me an actual piece of birthday cake. Like, give me a good old-fashioned icing and everything, good old-fashioned birthday cake. Bottom ticker, I don't know why this was such an unpopular opinion to like the bottom ticker. Everybody keeps saying, well, just get on your phone and check the scores. Well, that was the beauty of it. I didn't have to get on my phone to go check the scores. And it was great, too, because I knew exactly when I needed to flip the channel. Because if a game just got tight, I knew when to go flip the channel immediately.
Guy doesn't have 4 TVs with all the games on the television.
I don't.
Look at this guy.
I'm just a single TV man. I watch one game. I don't quad box or anything like that. No, I don't think it's you. I'd rather just focus on one game at a time. If you're watching 4 games at a time, are you really watching them?
Flat screen televisions are like $85 a piece now.
I have a massive flat screen TV. I have one big TV, and I get to watch one game on a massive TV. That's just not me, man. That's just not how I've watched college football.
Hey, however you consume the sport is all right with us.
How do you watch everything?
Well, for one, if it's not a Georgia game, then I'm just flipping through the channels anyways. I'm going back and forth.
I didn't think people
highlights.
channel surfed anymore.
I do.
Okay.
Again, I didn't know it was an unpopular opinion.
Have you tried the 4 TV deal? Have you tried setting it up that way?
We do that every time on a road trip, and it's fine, but it's just not for me.
Dude, in the car, if a police officer ever pulled us over, which they oftentimes do, if a police officer ever pulled us over on a road trip, they're going to be like, good Lord. How many tablets you got?
I was about to say, the truck is lit up like a Christmas tree with the amount of screens we have on at one time. And it's, what are you guys doing? Oh, nothing much. We're just watching Sacramento State versus Nicholls State at the moment. Don't worry about us.
Coach, officer, Washington's in a dogfight right now against Maryland.
Did you see how many picks DJ Lagway threw? We're losing our minds over here.
That was incredible.
Oh, man. That was great. Yeah, you got to be a multi-TV guy. We got to get you on that train. It got to a point in my old house before I had the sports bar set up down here with the 3 flat screens. It got to a point where I literally had a TV on wheels that I would roll into our living room.
Yeah.
Because, I'm a ball connoisseur.
Yeah.
I love ball. I don't know about you.
I do too.
Okay. Sounds like you're a one-ball lover.
I do this for a living. I think I love ball.
Why is this such a judge topic? My Lord.
No.
It's not like you're watching the games at his house.
We do have some news, ladies and gentlemen. Keemon Spell put any type of flip debates to rest today. Somebody catch the audience up on what happened here while I plug in the board.
Yeah, basically, Keemon Spell was asked about, because, obviously he is the biggest running back in the 2027 class, was asked about, hey, you're a Georgia commit. A lot of other teams, particularly Miami, are pushing to flip you. Is there any smoke there? And he gave a quote of, I could have gotten more money from other places, but I picked Georgia because I want to get to the NFL, and I'll be coached by the best guy, Kirby Smart, each and every day. So it seems like Keemon Spell is very much aware of the other offers. He acknowledges them, and despite those offers, he is seemingly rejecting them to be coached by Kirby Smart and remain a Georgia Bulldog. So that should set Georgia fans at ease a little bit. I understand with the way things have gone with 5 stars and the way college football is nowadays, the recruit's word is not necessarily gold, but at the same point, I think he's committed for the right reasons.
Yeah, and I would also say, too, and I know that, again, we have quite a few months left until early National Signing Day rolls around, but it does seem like if a flip was imminent for Keemon Spell or that he was entertaining it, I feel like there'd be a lot more buzz around it than people coming out with reports saying, hey, Miami is interested. Yeah, Miami is interested. Like, even with Jared Curtis, It was kind of this time of year where it was like, hey, Vanderbilt's actually trying here. Vanderbilt is pushing for him. They're trying to get him on campus for a game. And Jared Curtis at the time was like, well, I'm just going to go to Georgia games. And he ultimately goes to a Vanderbilt game. Like, that stuff kind of shows its ugly head earlier than it does later.
Yeah, I mean, and this might be hindsight's 2020. The signs that Jared Curtis were entertaining those ideas were definitely there. I haven't seen any from Keemon Spell that would make you go, oh, that kind of worries you as a Georgia fan. Now, it's late August. There's a lot of time before signing day and pen hits paper here, so some things could change. But as of now, I don't think anyone should be worried about Keemon Spell.
Shout out to the reporter for getting the dollar amount out of him, too. Did you mention that?
Yeah, $1 million.
$1 million. We did this segment with David Gabriel Georges, if I called him Gabriel. David Gabriel Georges about a month and a half ago when he committed to Tennessee over Ohio State. $2 million, something like that. Sounds like Adidas going to pick up about $750,000 of that $2 million deal. How about the word yoked still making it out of the thousands? Did y'all see Arch Manning's clip today calling David Gabriel Georges yoked?
I didn't know it went away, honestly.
I hadn't heard any young people say the word yoked in a while. I thought jacked replaced that for a little bit.
I've always felt like they were interchangeable.
Well, we got yoked still. Keemon Spell, not as yoked as David Gabriel Georges, but still the number one player. Is he still the number one running back on three?
Let's
look that up. David DGG might have gotten a bump recently, but here's the deal. This guy can flat out go. All right. Jeff Sentell was sitting in with us when Jonathan was taking a vacation and said that he talked to multiple recruiting coordinator types that said, hey, just hypothetically, if Keemon Spell were a slot receiver, where would he be ranked on your board? Number one. He's a running back. Where's he at on your board? Number one. They think this kid is very, very special, as do most people, and here's why. We're going to watch the tape. Is the answer, if the question is he worth $1 million, the answer is, hell yeah. Hell yeah. He absolutely is. Let's take a look at it. Here we go. All right, one thing I will tell you, this offense has changed. All right, I saw some preseason footage of him. They're in the shotgun now all of a sudden at this high school. So things look a little different. They're like B-backing this kid, like wishboning at most times in this film, if I remember correctly.
Had his hand in the dirt.
Yeah, had his hand in the dirt right here. But we got a little toss sweep right here to him. Let's see what we make happen. We make magic happen. Or do we score on this play? Are you
Surely,
kidding me?
if it's the first play of the highlight
reel.
reel.
Oh, my God.
By the way, according to the Rivals industry rankings, number 6 in the country, number 1 running back in the country.
Yep. I think had 1,300 yards and only played 8 games last year.
Yeah.
There was one game, I think the first game of the year last year, he had 8 touches for 233 yards and was on ice by the half. Yeah, he can go. I mean, he's got a damn boot on his foot and is running for 100 yards.
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody else in the screen.
No. He can catch the football. He can run routes. He's a great back. I mean, this kid's got all of it. Oof. Oh. Yeah, that kid quit football on Monday.
Golly.
He turned the pads in. Smooth. Honestly, I'm not going to say it.
The bottom half moves so much faster than it looks like his top half is moving. It's weird.
He runs like Zamir White.
Nah, we don't know.
He runs like Zamir White. Not as big as Zamir, but I mean, my God. These kids got no chance. That was the game he had 8 touches for 233 yards. He was still a Penn State commit during that clip. About 6'1", 200 pounds is what I would eyeball him at. I saw him at a 7-on-7 here in Gainesville, and he was lighting it up.
He's listed at 5'10", 205.
Okay, 6 foot 205. Not 6'1". But you get what I'm saying. Perfect back build. What's up? I don't think he has a cleat on in that clip.
Can we start this play over?
Yeah, I think he loses his
I wanna know how. Where does number 20 come from that he is 50 yards downfield?
This guy?
No.
I love watching 6.
That guy.
What the heck?
That guy.
6. Oh, he's the backside corner. But watch number 6. Watch the angle this kid right here takes. Watch this oh shit angle. I better get to the pylon.
Why? Where does number 20 come from?
But he was playing punt return. That's what he was doing.
He had the wrong assignment.
I mean,
That's what
he made the
He
tackle.
was playing punt return. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we to the crib. Woof. We got some go-go juice, man.
Ooh, and he's fiery. I like
Oh, he's playing a corner. Go stick.
Wow.
Yes, sir. I'll sign up to play special teams my freshman year, even though I'm going to be the primary ball carrier at the University of Georgia. We're already penciling him in for that, right?
Oh, he top
Assuming
ball
that
carrier.
Nate Chauncey are to the NFL or somewhere else, like this kid's going to be the primary ball carrier.
I'd
his
imagine
his freshman year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll be a situation where Bo Walker probably starts out as your top guy.
Yeah,
and then Keemon is.
I think they'll Nate Frazier him.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I think it'll be like hey, here's the freshman that we're going to give some carries to just to see what happens.
Look at him playing safety. Just a damn football player, man. Oh, yeah, a wishbone check at the line of scrimmage. The check is get Keemon to throw the football.
Throwing it.
And he can pass.
Now, the throwing motion.
Oh, that reminded me of Todd Gurley.
Hey, but you don't want to overthrow him.
I'm just
Don't
saying,
overthrow him.
probably no packages in his future where he has a throwing option.
You haven't watched Mike Bobo call plays.
Good Lord.
Mike Bobo's in his bag. There's a running back pass every year.
Yeah, he may
but
not
it's
be
with-
the one
it's with
doing
Dylan
it.
Bell, a former quarterback.
Yeah, Cash Jones had one, but
Oof. Oh, that's the first guy to touch him with an angle. Buddy, we got 5 more minutes of this gas.
Good Lord.
the life is immediate too. It's not a build.
Dude, I don't think he hit the turf in that football game. I don't think anybody got him down. All right. You see how strong and powerful you are. You're not going to score here, are you, bud? Okay.
Didn't even get
Still
tackled.
Doesn't get tackled.
Still,
though.
no one's gotten him tackled.
Just runs out of field.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I love that we're an all-round football player, too. So smooth.
Ooh.
Yeah, high pointed the hell up out of that ball. I think you found your third down back already, too.
Yeah, seriously.
Just don't come off the field. Oh. And the stiff. Oh, first tackle. Okay, 4 minutes in, we got tackled. 4 minutes in, we finally got tackled. Okay. What is going on with these unis, though? That is ugly.
I kind of like him.
Yeah, of course you do.
Oh, dang. And if you do tackle him, it's going to hurt.
Yeah. That is NCAA 2014 create a build drip right there on that running back on this next clip. That's how every single one of my Road to Heisman running backs were built and looked right there. Yep. Double ankle spat with the thick ankles. Oh, yeah.
Did he line up at fullback for that play?
Yeah. He's a B-back at this offensive system.
Ooh, kick return.
Punt return, Jonathan. No ball. Are they rocking camo?
That other team looks like they are. It just strolls in.
Is that a 0-3 out there running around?
It's probably 83.
No, I'm pretty sure that's a 0-3.
Hard to tell.
I don't know, maybe.
That's definitely 0-3.
What in the
Wow.
hell are we doing? All right, level of comp, not that great. I'm going to be
No,
honest.
but,
All
I
right.
mean,
We're playing Timmy's and Tyler's. Go stick somebody. Wow. Okay, good form tackle on the goal line. Now, those look like some dudes. Golly, do they know what shotgun offense is in Pennsylvania? 3rd and 2. You going back hat away. These jerseys are hideous, man. Dude, there's a 0-8 out there running around. What are we doing? I'm sorry. I know, hey, save the tatas, all that good stuff, but you can't rock camo and pink in the same and blue in the same unis. It's
Yeah,
just-
camo
that's
is
gross.
not a camo guy.
No. Hard to see. Y'all ain't got a chance. Oh, you ran me out of bounds. Good luck. Honestly, I can't believe they got him for $1 million.
I think a lot of programs are shocked that they got him for $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, question. Does he automatically enter damn good dog status because he wasn't for purchase? I mean, you're laughing, but I'm dead serious. The idea that you're a 5-star running back, you're offered, I mean, if you're the number 1 back in the country and DGG got $2 million, don't you think Ohio State, when they missed that, called him and said, hey, we got $2 million for you?
I've always been a DGD's kind of a what you do on the field.
When
type
you're in the
thing.
uni.
It's certainly
Like when you
Yeah,
got
when you're
to
in
you
the
got to prove
uniform.
it in the uniform.
yeah, how you contribute to the success of the team. It certainly makes him more likable that he did this.
I think this is a case of just thank goodness for Kirby Smart, because it sounds like that's playing a massive role.
Yeah.
I mean, he even talked about how he wants to be coached hard. Like, he wants Kirby in his face every single day. Like, that's what he's looking for at college.
You know what I've yet to see? Ball in the wrong hand. Dude's got supreme ball security. Oh, as soon as I say that, do we switch it? Nope. Dang. That's the Brooks Austin curse even on high school film. Okay, we're starting to get tackled.
Yeah, I mean,
That guy can play some football, huh, boys?
no doubt.
No kidding.
Good Lord.
Shout out to Josh Crawford, too.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Josh Crawford, too. That's pretty good pickup for him,
No doubt.
you know? So, that guy's a good ball player.
Yes, he is.
I'm
Very
excited to see him running inside Sanford Stadium. That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be bought, already a DGD. That's what my notes say. Worth every penny. Worth every penny. $1 million is a steal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he plays like his tape suggests he might.
I mean, you're getting a 5-star running back for what LSU played Landon Clark.
yeah.
Yes. Good way to put it. Interesting way to put it.
That's the Kirby discount.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Kirby Smart. All right, week 0. What you watching, Kirby? I'm watching all of it.
What are Georgia fans paying attention
what are
to
Georgia
in week
fans
0?
supposed to pay
Yeah,
attention
aside
to
from
week
the
0?
fact that you're going to be watching every game because it's the first time you've had college football in over 200 days, I kind of asked the question of like, what are some things you as a Georgia fan would want to pay attention to or might have an interest in outside of just enjoying college football to enjoy it?
Is there even a common opponent playing this week?
No, there is not.
No.
Now, there's a potential common opponent. Like we said, Memphis and UNLV might have playoff implications. If you get that 5th-ranked spot, which is very plausible for Georgia this season, you could be hosting one of those two teams. USC might be a playoff team this year, so that's something that I figured you could watch out for. I do kind of think that it might – there have been some small tweaks and changes to the rules this year. Seeing how those are enforced will be interesting in week 0 because –
Oh, yeah. Who's going to be the first one to get caught with a first down celebration penalty?
Stuff like that will be interesting.
Did you know I learned some new rules Friday night when I was at a high school football game? Did you know that in high school football, if you kick any field goal and it makes it to the end zone at least, the opposing team gets the ball back at the 25, not at the spot of the kick?
Really?
Yeah. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I had no idea either. There's also a rule, and this is all the way up into NFL football, and I've played football for 18 seasons and have been covering football professionally for almost 10 now, and had no idea about the free touch rule.
Yes, I did know this rule.
On punts. If they touch it but don't down it, you can do anything you want with the ball with no repercussions as a punt return team. There's no muffing a punt. Once they touch the ball at all, you can go run over there and kick it around, and it's not going to matter. It's not a muffed punt. The other team can't get the ball back. It's a free touch. Had no idea.
Did you know about the free kick rule?
About fair catching, where if you fair catch a ball, you can kick a field goal for that spot for 3 points.
Correct.
Yeah, I knew about that because Robbie Ross, my special teams coordinator, was a lunatic. But every other special teams rule, I was snoozing on a Friday night in those special teams meeting rooms. Backup long snapper in college, I wasn't paying attention. I was a position player, buddy. You peasants that play special teams only, I ain't watching that stuff. I'm a me guy, Bubba. I play for the back of the jersey.
Didn't you end up on SportsCenter not top 10
Shut up.
because
It
of
wasn't
special
my
teams?
fault. It was not my fault.
Just saying, those bums on special teams.
If I saw Cody today, I'd punch him in the nuts. I would. I'd punch him right in the nuts. He'd be like, hey, how you doing? Wham! Right in the coccyx.
Tough.
Son of a...
Didn't mean to do that to
On
you,
my
but-
21st birthday, Jonathan, and if you haven't seen a blackout like that before, oh, buddy, was it something to behold.
That was worth it.
The rest of the show is chopped now.
No, it's not.
Now you've gone too far.
Any other things we should be paying attention to in week 0, Christian?
I mean, I did some deep diving on this. I think Griffin Scroggs is the only former
He is.
Bulldog playing this weekend.
He is
So if
playing
you
for
guys-
UNLV.
If you guys,
Hey, made his commitment announcement on the Film Guy Network. But y'all
right.
don't remember that.
I do remember that.
I don't remember that one. So if you guys want to see a former dog playing up, check out Griffin Scroggs when UNLV and Memphis play.
Former Appalachian State Mountaineer as well.
Yes, he
That's
is.
right. And then obviously the big news I think is going to be something to kind of pay attention to and get used to. The no ticker at the bottom of ESPN games or just different broadcast changes in general, different theme songs, figuring out what commercials there are you're going to have to start getting used to because let's face it, by the time week 13 or 14 rolls around, they've had the same dozen commercials rotating through.
Is Pat McAfee going to be getting drunk on national television again? Are they going out there, or did they skip
I don't
this
know.
trip?
That was 2 years ago. I don't think he'll be doing that anymore. I
You
think
want to
Pat's-
talk about hitting an all-time high when that first "I woke up feeling the cheesiest coach" hits through your TV speakers?
Yes, but the problem is
Some might say I've aged you perfectly.
Man.
the problem is when you hear it the 150th time, you're
no.
like,
But it's the first time.
the first time is the
it's
best.
the first time.
The first time is great.
You got to turn it up a little louder. You just got to do more.
Nah,
Yeah. I mean, it still hits like the first time. You just got to turn it up a little. You got to do a little bit more.
nah.
You can never OD on Cheez-It commercials, ever.
The Cheez-It commercials are consistent. I do
Andre
agree.
Evans will be playing for NC State as well, the former Georgia
yes.
cornerback.
God,
Shout
that guy
out.
looks gorgeous.
We'll see if he does in an NC State uniform.
Probably not. Probably not going to hit the same. Is he wearing 23?
Let's see.
Not that big of a deal. But yeah, no, I'll be watching every single football game from my couch with a big old slab of wings and some ranch.
Looks like he's in 20.
Yeah. All right. Season stats predictions.
Did y'all have any?
No, that was an all you thing.
Honestly, yeah. Like when you wrote the segment down, I was like, why would Georgia fans have anything to watch other than football?
It's fair.
But you did a great job on that segment. You put a
Thanks,
lot of work
guys.
into
Good
it.
research.
Good
Thank you.
research. Really good stuff there.
And
from you.
the Griffin Scroggs one was kind of mine. I
Yes,
told you
it
about
was.
that one. So I contributed.
And the Andre Evans ones was the chat.
Yes.
So
Thank you, chat, for all.
chat contributed more to this segment than I did.
Good job, chat.
Wow.
Good job, chat.
Good job.
Big dubs in the chat for chat. How about that?
So bold predictions?
Yeah, season stats predictions. I wouldn't say these are bold predictions.
Oh, well,
I tried to be as right as I could possibly be.
Oh.
You took it another way?
I took it
Well-
as bold predictions.
Well, what I was told before the show started was let's do bold predictions for our stats.
Okay, well I'll just tweak my stats a little bit. That's
but you
all.
know what? I'm so confident in my bold predictions that they will be right.
I thought it was stats predictions.
That is
well, these are stats.
yes, these are stat predictions I have, but they were bold predictions. Was how it was.
You know, we haven't done this in a while where we have a segment and we completely miscommunicate on what the segment is.
Sometimes it's our best segments.
So this might end up being a really good segment.
This always happens in season too.
Now,
Because in the off season we're so perfectly planned to get to the 2-hour time limit.
yeah.
During the season, not so much. We got plenty to talk about.
But this would be rather interesting if me and Christian have more correct bold predictions than you do just stat
That's a great way to
predictions.
put it. I'll be milk toast. You guys be hot take.
All right. Let's do
All
it.
right. Gunnar Stockton.
all right.
I got him throwing for 3,000 yards, rushing for 456 yards for 37 total touchdowns.
Okay.
Okay.
What did he have?
30.
34 total touchdowns last year?
Yes, I believe. No, I think he had 25 passing and 10, so 35 total
Okay.
touchdowns.
I knew it was 10 rushing touchdowns. So, all right.
So what are your bold predictions for Gunnar Stockton?
All right. I don't have one for Gunnar Stockton,
I have
but
one
I'll
for
give
Gunnar.
it.
I
Okay,
have
well,
one
then
for
you go
Gunnar.
ahead. Transition into it.
Gunnar Stockton will throw for less yards than he did in 2025, but will have 5 more total touchdowns.
So that's how many total touchdowns?
That would be 40 total touchdowns this year with less passing yards.
So he's under 2,900 passing yards?
Yes.
Less than 2,900 yards.
I think he's going to become a much more efficient passer inside the red zone. Georgia's offense is going to become a much more efficient passing offense inside the red zone. That's going to lead to a lot of touchdowns. I don't think they're going to be as pass reliant as they were. They're going to have so many back mouths to feed in the running back room. I think we're going to see a slight downtick from Georgia's passing offenses. Also, because I don't think they're going to get as many shootouts.
Who's your bold prediction about? Your
The
first one.
tight end room.
Okay, feed me.
Ethan Barbour has the most receptions in the tight end room this season, but Jaden Riddell has the most yards.
Ooh. So Elias Williams is the happy medium then?
Yeah, Elias Williams and Lawson Lucky are the happy medium. I I think that those two guys, obviously they're going to play a massive role in the offense this year, and that's me giving this bold predictions not to demean any one of those players. But I think Ethan Barbour could be just like a little bit of a safety blanket in some crucial positions, or some crucial situations in the tight end room. And I think Jaden Riddell has the potential to be the most explosive out of everybody.
I'm about to give you the exact stat lines of the running back room. You ready?
Ooh, yes.
Nate Frazier, 956 yards rushing. Chauncey Bowen, 726 yards rushing. Bo Walker, 472 yards rushing.
That's 2,000 yards on the ground without Gunnar Stockton or anyone else.
Yeah.
Correct.
Sign me up.
That's bold, huh?
Yeah, you didn't even include Ethan Barbour's rushing yards. He's playing running back, Brooks.
Bro, so not appropriate. So not appropriate. Because there's people listening right now going, wait a minute, did he have a position change?
No, he did not. Ethan Barbour will be playing tight end. That's where he should be playing.
What's your next bold one?
Georgia will have 5 players with a passing touchdown this season.
Give me the 5.
Gunner, Ryan, Hezekiah, and someone else.
Coulter Ginn.
Maybe Coulter Ginn?
No.
I'm going wild card here. It's a running back on a trick play. So
Landon Rolden. Landon Rolden has already been in this position before.
Ooh.
Didn't have the gloves on. As a tell. Remember?
That's right.
The callback.
Yeah.
I'll say Landon Rolden gets a passing touchdown this year.
I'll say Drew Bobo gets a passing touchdown this year.
That would be incredible. While we're here, though, another one of those.
I'll say Elijah Griffin gets a passing touchdown.
Oh my gosh.
That's very.
I'll say Peyton Woodring gets a passing touchdown.
Very bold.
That's the most likely option you just gave. A Peyton Woodring fake field goal
I
passing
thought you guys
touchdown.
were going to join the bit there for a second, but no.
No.
That's on me.
While we're here, though, it is a shame that decision and that play will obviously not be talked about for how legendary it was because Georgia lost that game.
Mm-hmm.
But the absolute balls on Kirby Smart to once again pull out a fake punt in a playoff game in your own side of the field, like deep in your own territory when you're down. Once again, I think he has absolutely righted the wrong of the 2018 SEC championship, even though that was low-key Justin
I would
Fields'
like to
fault.
know the hit rate of his fake special teams plays.
I saw the ballsiest fake punt call in the history of football last week.
Oh, at a high school game?
Oh, my God. Guys, how about this one? 4th and 20, ball at your own 8.
Excuse me?
Wow.
4th and 20, ball at your own 8.
What's the
What
score?
was the score time?
They were up 7.
Oh, that's just mean.
No. They converted.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
That's
because no one, you're not doing this.
that's a
did
classic
it.
example of if
Now,
we-
they lost the football game, but they did do that.
Tough.
That would have been
And
legendary.
they punted the football 3 plays later, but they did do that.
That's classic.
Jeez.
I was like, I was dumbfounded over the, now I did notice that the formation looked a little funky, but still, like
That's a
what
prime
in the
example
world?
of I don't care what down it is, what the yardage
We're
is.
throwing
If we
this.
get the
Yeah,
look
we're
we
doing
want,
this.
we're going and doing this play.
But
It worked.
seriously, when was the last time a fake special teams play didn't work out for Kirby Smart?
I can't.
Justin Fields.
Yeah,
Is it truly that long ago?
I can't think of something beforehand. I'm trying to think.
All
of,
the ones with Stetson I can think of, they converted on. The ones in the playoffs over the past couple of years have paid off.
I mean, even like the onside surprise onside payoff.
Like even you hit on that one.
I genuinely can't.
It's like a 75% success rate on surprise onside kicks. By the way.
Do you credit that more to Kurt Benkert or not Kurt Benkert? Lord.
Kurt Benedict?
Kurt Benedict or Kirby Smart?
Hey, he did have that knee that one time in NFL football.
He did.
Big time.
Never forget.
Never. He won't let you.
But
But no, Kurt Benedict's damn good special teams
I
coordinator.
think it's both. I think
Yeah, it
it's
is both.
knowing. I think it's being able to install that on your team, and also knowing when it's the time that okay, we have to pull this out now. Like it almost always works, and you almost never suspect it. So yeah, that was something I stumbled into.
Cash Jones got ran out of bounds on a running back pass last year.
Yeah, but it's special
That's
teams.
not special teams.
Oh, okay.
That's
But
why I
you
was-
said something about Stetson.
Oh, yeah, Stetson had a couple fake field
Stetson
goals.
ran a fake field goal a couple of times.
Huh.
Stetson was a part of some
One of them was in the Missouri game
Yes.
in 2022.
2022.
It was a crucial conversion. Now, it ended up settling for a field goal still, I think, after that. But I don't know. I just kind of dawned on me of like, when he calls those, they typically
Yeah,
hit.
no, you're absolutely right. All right, back to bold predictions.
The second one that I have, Craig Dandridge averages 14-plus yards per reception this
Let's
season.
try that again and say his name correctly.
Craig Dandridge averages
I thought
14-plus
he had
yards.
to earn that. Was that not the consensus?
Nope, we're giving it to him.
All
We
right.
got to be first to the party on nicknames. Craig Dangerous, 14-plus yards per catch.
Per reception this season.
Yeah, it would be catch. Yards per catch.
A reception is a catch.
I know, but it's categorized as YPC,
Okay.
not YPR.
Sorry. My apologies, everybody. Didn't
letting
mean
you
to
know.
add a whole bunch of confusion
Just
there.
letting you know.
That's crazy coming from you. Oh, we have to say things right now.
JKS, JSK.
As was
but
a
who
quick
cares?
Cal quarterback name.
Yeah, no.
Go ahead.
How many? Obviously, this doesn't pertain into your stat, but is this he is just one of the most explosive players of throughout the season, or is it, hey, when we get him, it's a big play? Like the way I think about 2022 Arian Smith type. Like he's gonna have 11 catches this year, but they're all gonna be bombs, or is it he is genuinely just one of the most dynamic receivers Georgia has?
I think the latter, because I think he's going to get – I think he'll get put in situations where it's just, hey, let's get Craig the ball real quick. And I think he's going to be a special playmaker at that point. But I think it's more so going to be like he's just explosive in the passing game. Like they take shots with this guy. He has big boy routes. Like that's what they're looking for with him.
All right, this is an actual statistic that I will predict exactly.
Attaboy.
Give me Dwight Phillips with exactly 5 rushing touchdowns this year.
Try that again and give me his nickname, please.
Peanut.
Attaboy. One more time. I just wanted time to write this down.
Dwight Peanut Phillips with 5 rushing touchdowns in 2026.
I wouldn't categorize that as bold. But I'm
He had
down. I'm down.
like 2 last year.
I'm
That would be
down.
more than doubling it.
I'm down. 105% increase. I'm down. Don't think the math's right on that.
not.
Here's an exact stat line prediction. You ready? Chris Cole, 69 tackles,
Nice.
7.5 sacks, and 1 interception.
I like that. Is that a Butkus Award season if that happens?
It's certainly a finalist, I would imagine.
When's the last time Georgia didn't have a finalist?
Last year? Or
CJ
CJ was a finalist.
CJ was a finalist. CJ in 25. Jalen won it in 24.
It would have been the year where it would have been 2023. They didn't have a finalist that year.
That's right, because Pop got hurt
Mm-hmm.
and CJ Allen took over.
Smile was banged up that
Smile
year.
was banged up throughout the year, but
That'd be the last
the year
time.
before he was a finalist. 2021, Kobe Dean wins it, obviously. Pretty sure Monty Rice was a finalist in 2020, but who knows what that season looked like.
The stiff safety who needs to play close to the box, Chris Cole.
Yeah, exactly.
Good callback.
That guy.
Good callback.
What a freaking idiot, man. Whoever ran those quotes down, delete that dude's number.
Yeah.
Delete that dude's number. He'll be fired within 12 months.
I think it was
Guaranteed.
I think it was Mike Griffith.
Yeah, I'm going to tell Mike when I see him.
Yeah.
It was like,
Give me
Mike,
the names
you need-
now.
Yeah, I need the names now. I need to know who I need to avoid next time they hop in the DMs.
You know,
Say, I love
honestly-
your work. I don't love yours.
When anonymous quotes are that bad, I do think it is valid to ask, like, who actually gave this quote?
Yeah,
like, we need to know who did this. For just the third time under Kirby Smart, Georgia will average more than 230 rushing yards per game this season.
Really, just the what were the other 2 times?
2017,
Checks
and I
out.
want to say 2019.
Yeah,
I think those were the 2
That
seasons.
was because it was 2019 was, hey, DeAndre Swift, can you win us a
game
football
today?
please? Jake Fromm might complete 20 of his 25 passes, and if he doesn't, we really need you. So
Please save us, DeAndre Swift. And he did most of the time.
KJ Bolden, 4 interceptions.
ooh,
That plays perfectly into my last
that would
one.
be a
This is the boldest of boldest takes that I think I could give for this segment right here. And if this
Mike
one,
Bobo wins the Assistant Coach of the Year award?
no, wasn't he a finalist for that last year?
He was,
Yeah, so
but he sucks.
he does. Georgia forces more turnovers than total touchdowns allowed this season.
Ooh.
wow. Considering what they did last year, that is very bold.
Yeah, so that would basically, in order for that to happen, they would need to force roughly 13 more turnovers this season and chop their touchdowns allowed from last season in a little less than half.
Yeah, I'm
They
going
do
to go
that.
ahead and let you know that's not happening.
Hey,
Did they do that in 21?
Oh, that's a great question. I want to look that up right now.
Probably not. They didn't force a ton of turnovers in 21. They just got a ton of sacks.
Let's see.
All right,
Fill airtime while I do this.
I have 2 more while Jay Will is looking that up.
I have 2 more as well.
Georgia will collectively have 31 sacks in 2026. That is an 11 sack increase from last year.
Okay. I'm down. I think the coverage sacks will increase by at least 10 this year.
I hope so.
London Humphreys, 657 yards receiving.
How many?
657.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Georgia did do that in 2021. They forced 21 total turnovers and only surrendered 16 total touchdowns.
Good Lord, dude.
Yeah.
Spoiled.
Absolutely spoiled.
What an era of football for them. Last one I have. Georgia won't have a receiver go over 500 yards, but they will have 5 receivers that exceed 300 yards. I think it's going to be very much a receiver by committee this year, kind of like it was last year if you exclude Zachariah Branch. I understand he was a rather large part of their receptions, but London Humphreys, Dylan Bell, Colby Young, Noah Thomas, all of those guys all hovered around the 250 to 300 range. I think you're going to see an increase in that because there is not a star of the show this year right now that we have.
All right, this is the one prediction that I think is going to be labeled bold, but I think I could see it happening. Peyton Woodring makes every kick he lines up for this year. 100%. PATs and field goals, 100%.
Yeah, that'd be great.
How many did he miss last year?
I think 3.
Okay.
And I don't even 24 for 27.
I don't even remember the 3 he missed.
I know one of them
don't quote me on that, but I think I'm pretty close.
Pretty sure one of them was in the Sugar Bowl.
Yes.
It's not worth finding.
Yeah, not worth trying to rehash the memory of missed field goals from last year. But, yeah, I could see that happening.
All right, so to recap, the bold predictions. Ethan Barbour, most receptions in the tight end room. Jaden Riddell, most yards. I think Elias Williams has the most receptions, just to let you know. Craig Dangerous has 14 yards per catch. UGA has 230 yards plus yards on the ground per game. They force more turnovers than touchdowns allowed on the defensive side of the football. Those are Jay Will's bold predictions. Kirby's. Gunner has 40 total touchdowns, but fewer than 2,900 yards passing. That's a lot of rushing touchdowns, too, I would imagine.
Yeah.
5 players throw for a passing touchdown this year. Labeled them Gunner, both the Ryans, Buddha. Bro, you missed the layup. Bryson Beaver going to get a tutty there. Plus one more.
That's QB 5 if Bryson Beaver gets a tutty.
Bryson Beaver is the future. So says the chat. Peanut has 5 rushing touchdowns, 3 more than a year ago. 31 total sacks on this football team in 2026. I think that would make them a top 3 defense in college football, by the way. Georgia has 0. This is asinine. I don't even think this is possible. Georgia has 0 500 yards receivers. It has 5 300-plus yard receivers. I think it's more likely that they have 2 500-plus yard receivers and 3 or 4 300-yard receivers.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Beaver is the now, says the chat. Not even the future. I love our chat. Brooks, I don't know why Brooks says that sarcastically. See? I love our chat. Because the future's in the portal. Gunnar Stockton, 3,000 yards passing, 456 yards rushing, 37 total touchdowns. That's my predicted stat line. Nate Frazier, 956. Chauncey Bowen, 726. Bo Walker, 472. London Humphreys, 657 yards receiving. Chris Cole, 69 tackles.
Nice.
7.5 sacks and 1 interception. KJ Bolden, 4 interceptions. Peyton Woodring does not miss a kick. That's what we got going on.
I like it.
We're 10 days away, boys. We are 10 days away. Who are some famous guys to wear number 10?
Let me find my notes on this.
Zayden Walker.
Could be in that range.
Dudes.
I mean, you could have 2 right now in the current roster that enter this territory of Zayden Walker, Elias Williams.
Certainly. Zayden Walker has potential to do that. I did not list him as that just because I feel like, you got to earn it beforehand. And also, I don't usually put people on these lists if you're still a current player. So, first one I have is just Mr. Reliable himself, Kearis Jackson. Had so many underrated moments. The catch against Florida in 2021, the play against Ohio State that set you up for the A.D. Mitchell touchdown. Like, I think people forget how explosive that play was. One of the more consistent blockers in the time, one of the more reliable pass catchers.
Stetson Bennett's throw to Kyrus Jackson in the Peach Bowl on Georgia's final offensive drive is like that play is burned into my memory, and every time I see it, I'm like, I cannot believe you threw that ball in that situation, and it was the perfect ball, and I can't believe it because it's Stetson Bennett. That dude didn't see a throw he didn't like, but so that is like the most underrated play on that entire drive.
The dig route he threw against TCU to Brock Bowers is bonkers. It passes through the Mike linebacker, both safeties, and the lines judge. The line judge is like, that's going to break my nose. Brock Bowers, pluck, tuck, run for another 15 yards.
Yeah,
absolutely
classic Brock.
bonkers.
Jamon Dumas-Johnson deserves a shout here. Unfortunately, he didn't finish career with Georgia, but gave you a national championship.
And didn't finish his career in 10. Do y'all know what number he wore at Kentucky?
I believe he was 9.
Nope.
At Kentucky.
2?
Correct.
Ah, that's right. Yes.
And I love ball. I can't believe you said that about me.
But yeah, he deserved a shout. Thomas Davis. I think Thomas Davis was one of the last players that I don't remember really playing, like watching. Like, I vividly remember Greg Blue. I vividly remember like guys from that, like Tim Jennings, Shock. Thomas Brown is the last one where it's like, I have no recollection. I just know the stories. I just know the legend of Thomas Brown.
Unfortunately, the one I know is the NFL version.
Thomas Davis, excuse me. I said Thomas Brown a few times.
Yeah, Thomas Davis NFL
with
is
the
what
Panthers,
I know. Yeah,
yes.
because the Falcons played the Panthers all the time. So I was very familiar with his professional career. Unfortunately, not so familiar with his college career.
How about Jacob Eason?
The Missouri play, man.
The Missouri play. A massive what could have been, I think. Like,
because look, like, it could have been one of these what if moments of like what could have been had we not gotten the hindsight of him at Washington.
But here's what I'll say, and maybe I'm like, I don't feel it's disrespectful to say, with the running game and the defense that Georgia had in 2017, Jacob Eason could have been on that team when they went to a national championship.
Could have been, but
now they couldn't have done it without Jake Fromm.
Yeah, like Jake Fromm was just like the perfect thing for what you needed on that
Correct.
team.
My point is this. If Jacob Eason takes that 2017 roster to Atlanta, which is feasible, what is the legendary status of that guy? Because in 2015, he is anointed as the savior of Georgia football. 2016, he's a promising future. If in 2017, he delivers a national championship appearance, I think Jacob Eason is one of the more revered quarterbacks in Georgia football history up until that point. So it is a what could have been for that sense. I think you're right. I don't think that he necessarily had the full talent to become one of the elites of elites. I don't think that he was necessarily what he was billed to be when he was in high school, but it is still a what might have been.
Yeah, I mean, if it does play out the same way with Jacob Eason as a starting quarterback that year, I think he's viewed in the same way that Jake Fromm is, of like he's credited for kickstarting the Kirby Smart dynasty. Like that's how he's viewed.
And then the last player I have is Eric Zier. Another one of these, don't know anything about, didn't watch him, didn't grow up watching him, loves him in the booth, but a legend in his own right. So
he's still in the booth, isn't he?
Yeah.
Radio?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only other number 10 I can think of is Damon Wilson.
There's not a lot of number 10s. It's interesting. Like, you would think that once you get, like, below 20, you start getting, like, okay, we're getting some dudes here. And, yeah, there's obviously guys, but...
I mean, to be fair, Kyrus rocked number 10 for quite some time at Georgia. I mean, he occupied that number for many years at Georgia.
Yeah, it's not like a high demand number.
No.
All right, so now some number 10s that are relevant to Georgia football lore. How about January 10th, 2022? The greatest nights of my life. Will be the greatest night of my life until I get married and have a kid. So, shout out to that. Gunnar Stockton had 10 rushing touchdowns in 2025. Stetson Bennett also had 10 rushing touchdowns in 2022. So, the number 10 seems to be the sweet spot for quarterbacks having elite seasons at Georgia. And then the final one I had, Brock Bowers had 10 total touchdowns during the 2022 season.
Sheesh.
Which is kind of low, honestly. It was, I believe, 7 receiving and 3 rushing. So
kind of low. 10 touchdowns?
For Brock Bowers, it was low. He had 13 receiving touchdowns his freshman season. And by the way, that's the year he didn't win the Mackey Award, so kind of crazy. I think we could honestly do a 25-minute segment of just insane Brock Bowers stats. That would be like, there's no way that's
We'll
real,
save it
right?
for next offseason.
We'll try. We'll
just rack them up from now until then, and we'll just rip them all off.
So, yeah, those are the number 10s that I have.
Well, thank you.
You want to play some What If Wednesday?
I would love to.
Let's give a shout-out first.
Oh, yeah, let's do this. Shout out to our friends over at SeatGeek. We love our friends over at SeatGeek. With over 35 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 ticketing app in the entire country, in the world, some may say. There are over 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, festivals, sports, and much, much more. College football is back. The MLB playoffs are right around the corner. The Braves going to close it out.
Oh, they're tied right now.
Yeah, so the chat's been telling me, go Bravos, I guess. And, you know, we got NFL seasons and NBA seasons right around the corner as well. Let's take a look over there on SeatGeek. Give me 1 second. Got to get the app pulled up. Let's take a look. What do y'all want to look at today?
Let's see what the Braves are up to. I know we looked at them a few days ago, but
You know what I was thinking? Probably your easiest and cheapest ticket in SEC play this year is probably going to be in Arkansas, and it's not that far of a drive.
Not that far.
How far is it?
It's like
I've
an
never
8-hour
been to
drive.
Okay, I mean, that's doable.
It's doable.
It's not that far for us.
doable and not that far. Not the.
Yeah.
What if I told you can get a ticket for $68, though?
I mean,
I think I'd rather keep my $68.
Damn, dude. That's disrespectful.
that's also paying
Come on.
$68 to sit.
You're
in the
going to
car
spend
for a
more
long
on
time.
gas than you do to see the tickets.
Facts. You got
Especially with our friends at SeatGeek giving us
Yeah.
10% off.
Yeah.
Don't got 10.
to factor in the gas cost.
I mean, right now, you can sit prime real estate for $201 right now. So look at that seat, Jonathan. Wouldn't you want to watch the dogs from an all 22 view for $200 and 10% off Film Guide 10?
Maybe.
Again, that's promo code
It's
Film
in
Guide
it.
10.
The deal is enticing.
Yeah, the deal is fantastic. We got any dog fans out there on the western side of the Southeastern Conference?
That's right.
You should definitely take up that deal right now.
That's right.
Just saying, it's not that far.
It's not a close.
Tuscaloosa is
out.
not that far.
8 hours is a rocks toss.
No.
You know what? I might just drive to Oregon this year just to prove to you guys.
Lord, don't do that to yourself,
It's a
please.
5-day road trip. My neighbors just moved out there.
No,
Took 'em
really.
5 days.
5 days.
5 days.
I'm good on that. Thank
With
you.
a dog and 2 cats in the car.
Oh my gosh.
That's all right. I think I'll let those.
You know what frustrates me the most is when friends of the show call me during the show. Like, dude, don't you know? Don't you know that I'm
don't know.
locked in talking dog right now? Come on, man.
Could be a bit important, you know?
It's probably not.
Maybe
this,
an emergency.
This friend of the show, who I love very, very much, calls me as if, you know, you can just call me up and shoot the shiznit with me. And I'm like, that's not how this is going to roll. He'll get it. He'll get it eventually. You get sent to voicemail enough, you give up. But yeah, love our friends over there at SeatGeek. All right, now let's play some What If Wednesday. You ready?
Let's play.
I'd like to start the segment off so that way
I got the bang.
No. Please hear me out. I'd like to start the segment off so by the end of it, we can just forget that I even threw this out there as a what if.
Okay.
Okay.
What if Georgia's schedule makes it to where a 2-loss season puts them in jeopardy of missing the playoff?
Not possible.
It is possible.
Greg Sankey would riot.
I'm just like, let's say at the end of the year,
Like you lose to Oklahoma.
you lose your
and-
two best games, Alabama and Oklahoma. You lose both of those. Your signature win is against Ole Miss, which who knows what they look like. Like they could be 8-4, they could be 9-3. And let's say winner of the SEC is 11-1 or 12-1 after winning the conference, and then you have 3 other teams or maybe even 4 other teams sitting there at the 10-2 range with you.
It's certainly plausible, and especially like if Oklahoma wets the bed and goes 7-5 this year, and that win loses all that shine, it will be one of those things where you look at it and it's like, oh man. But I think that's also hinging on the fact that Florida is a really bad football team, and you know Auburn is a really bad, which was the case last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and this is where I disagree with the way that the college football playoff is selected. The Georgia G holds enough weight that 10-2 will be enough to look at and say, all right, you know what? we think this is one of the 12 best teams in college football. Whether or not their resume shows that, maybe not. But I think that at this point, the prestige of Kirby Smart in that program, what they've done over this decade, will be enough to sway enough committee members.
Yeah, I think it'd be a
Jonathan Williams asked me what would happen if Georgia was 10-2. I guess we'll never know.
bro is clip farming right now.
10-2 is
clip farming.
Something
right now.
happened 2 years ago, actually. So it's very possible.
Yeah, I think it's
almost 9-3.
It would take a very particular situation for that to actually happen, but just throwing it out there, considering the fact that as of now they do have the lowest ranked strength of schedule in the conference. So just wanted to throw that out there as a what if. We can now forget I asked that question.
You think that's a chaotic what if? I'm going to raise you one. I got pocket aces.
Okay. You know, you tend to have pocket aces. I think you stack the deck in this situation. Are you cheating over there? Let's hear it.
Drew Bobo's done playing at the University of Georgia this year.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, do we have the same what if?
Gunnar Stockton, who the Bobo family has been very close to since he was, I don't know, 9 years old.
I think we have the same what if.
Mike Bobo's got to be in his late 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even older. What if Mike Bobo retires after the end of the year?
That is the exact what if that I was going to open with, too. I mean, there's a ton of questions there. Like,
well, great news, Brooks, because now Georgia can finally get the best offensive coordinator in all of football. Not even though nobody could name who he is, he's out there and he's waiting for Georgia's offensive coordinating job to open up. That's now available once Mike Bobo retires.
They'll probably hire Sean McVay.
Yeah, that's pretty plausible. I mean, Matthew Stafford might retire. Sean McVay might just be like, you know what, got my Super Bowl. I'm
and
good.
TRO for Stetson Bennett to come back.
Yeah, go make Matthew Stafford tell you no. Someone's gonna have that damn.
Hines Ward is coaching.
Yeah, Hines Ward. We need Hines Ward. We need anyone who ever played a down of football for Georgia, even though that's exactly what.
No, legitimately, I think if it does happen, if that were to happen, Georgia fans, most of them would say, go get Buster Faulkner away from Florida, not knowing that guy's going to be a head coach soon.
Here's the three options I think that happens. One is you say, all right, Todd Hartley, congratulations, you are our new OC.
Mm-hmm.
The next scenario, and I think this is regardless of who you hire, you go, oh, God, we're going to lose Jaden Wade. Because I think that, say what you want about Mike Bobo, he has been an integral piece to that recruiting.
Oh, absolutely.
That recruitment. So losing him would be a massive blow to Jaden Wade, and especially with all the offers that we expect to be thrown his way. And the third answer will be they go out and they get Cal's OC and bring JKS on and try to bring him on in the portal in 27. I think that's probably the most realistic and the most stomachable one because it is a pro-style system and everyone kind of talks about, hey, that's a great answer for 2027 when you're in kind of an in-between phase of Gunnar Stockton and Jaden Wade. So
maybe
that's kind of what you're looking at.
Maybe after Todd Monken goes through a season of watching Deshaun Watson throw the football, he'll be like, maybe I do want to go back to college. Kirby Smart, bring me back, please.
The make Matthew Stafford tell you no is hysterical.
It's true, dude. Someone's going to say something.
And I know that's why it's so funny, though, is because there's definitely somewhere on Twitter that would say that.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
If this happens. I don't think it will.
What if we never really get an answer for who QB2 is? Like, we get to, okay, Georgia's up by 30 points against Tennessee State, and then we get a drive of Pugga, and then we get a drive of Ryan Montgomery, and they alternate back and forth. And then the fourth quarter is, Buddha the entire time, like making it so obvious that we don't really know what the pecking order is. And then next week against Western Kentucky, it's the opposite, where Ryan Montgomery gets a drive, then Ryan Puglisi gets a drive, and then so on and so forth. Like, what if that's just what it is?
I know the answer.
For the entire season.
Gunnar Stockton's rushing attempts get cut in half.
Yeah.
That's what the answer to that question is.
Or you're at least telling them you got to get on the ground.
Yeah, like we can't have you hurt.
Yeah.
We have no idea.
You have to slide every time, get out of bounds every time.
I also think it's a very realistic possibility.
Yeah, probably so. What if the questions at wide receiver are overshadowing the potential growth from Gunnar Stockton? People get so concerned about the passing game this year because, like, the wide receiver room, we have so many questions there. There's so many unproven names in that on that portion of the roster. Some of the intel out of camp hasn't been all that great. What's going to happen to our passing game? Well, what if it's just that Gunnar Stockton improves in his game, that some of that it's not even a concern because your quarterback got that much better.
And I think that's what plays into why Mike Bobo is a should be a respected coordinator, because a lot of the concepts and things such as that are not the wide receivers getting open right now. Like he's running routes to such a degree that it's perfect. Like there's a lot of scheming guys open in a Mike Bubble offense, and the difference is, do we have enough time to make those passes, and does our quarterback see those passes? If Gunnar Stockton's taking another level, I don't think you can have just scrubs out there, but I don't think you need to have a 2023 Ohio State wide receiver room to look like, oh my God, we're actually getting things done on the passing. And I think if Gunnar Stockton takes a leap, that's what you'd want.
You got any more?
What if someone does light up this defense?
Recent history says it's likely. Like, it's likely someone's going to get you on a day.
If someone does light up with that defense, you need to remain as efficient as possible. Like, the best case scenario is what you had in Ole Miss against in the regular season of, our defense is getting lit up right now, but our offense has been so efficient with the football that we can keep pace with this and keep that defense off the field. Like, I firmly believe that if Georgia's offense wasn't doing what they did that day, Lane Kiffin would have hung up 50 on them. Like, that's how fast and how efficient and explosive that offense was that day. So, if that happens, you better hope your offense is remaining efficient.
I got one more. Do y'all have any?
I have one more as well.
Come on.
This actually plays perfectly into one of your predictions that you had earlier in the show. I said, what if Georgia doesn't have a single 1,000-yard back, but I tell you Frazier and Chauncey both go for over 700 yards and Bo Walker adds 400?
I'll take it.
I think it's very plausible, to be honest with you. You know what show doesn't hold up?
What?
Mythbusters. What if you play not so great in the all-whites?
Burn them.
They'll do it.
Burn them.
The McGill Society going to be pissed.
I spent my money for this. This is what I spent my hard-earned money for us to wear these jerseys and play like crap. Like, think about it, though. What if Georgia wears the all-whites and they have an Austin Peay performance from last year? Now, I know the
or
Austin Peay.
UMass performance.
The Austin – oh, God. The Austin Peay game – look, dude, no need to dig that deep. The Austin Peay game last year had the thunderstorm and the early kickoff time and the delay at halftime, but it definitely wasn't Georgia's cleanest performance by any means necessary. So it could happen, but we're just going to firmly say it doesn't.
I like it.
That's all I have.
That's all I have for the night as well. Hey, it was a great show. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. We'll have a film study coming out tomorrow. We'll also be back for our live show tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. I love you. Most importantly, Jesus loves you. See you next time.